Peace, 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 peace. Peace, love, and light to all the American Aborigines. This is your brother, Aboriginal Power. I'm going to give everybody 30 seconds, 60 seconds, maybe even 2 minutes to gather in, hit the like button, and share this around your social media outlets. Peace, 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 peace. It's your brother, Aboriginal Power. Hopefully, everybody's having a beautiful grand rising. Hopefully, everybody's good. Good to see everybody in here this morning. We got 10 folks off in here. Peace and blessings to you guys. Shout out to you guys. Hit the like button. Share this around on all your social media outlets.
Infamous Trey Ali.
I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know what who we are, swear they hate us cause they ain't us. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know what who we are, swear they hate us cause they ain't us. I said gotta never die, never left us. Even though they took you home, he still behind you like a catcher. Life is like a doctor, everybody want their checkup. Money, he been preaching, charge for a confession. See, ain't nobody focused on the bullshit that they told us. I was trying to pin you sick when ain't nobody came before us. We the best part of waking up before the folders. That's why they want your backs against the wall like a poster. Indoctrination being sold as education. Most of history they taught you came from some imagination. Roots was never true, fuck the whole compilation. Fuck Walter Plecker, fuck Alex Haley. America is Egypt, Israel, Queen Khalifa. Babylon used to dabble by NY, I check my fever. Niggas think I'm lying cause they sleeping. But bitch, I ain't no fool shopping my toes every season. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know what who we are, swear they hate us cause they ain't us. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know what who we are, swear they hate us cause they ain't us. Guess I gotta start bad rap and tell these niggas how it happened. Control is the goal, now you space like William Shatner. Technology's economy has overthrown your balance. Now your headaches come from waves, microcells up in your atmosphere. Fears how they take you, they spank you for being active and questioning all the requisites made to prevent disasters. Clearing out the churches, FEMA talking to the pastor. Got the online tithe and it's survival for the masses. They never loved our classics, but bite off our originals. Reclassify your favorite rhymes the way they did the Seminoles. I'm so black pride that my inside's purple. If the world had never died, they probably never alert you. You need to venture out and stop sticking the circles. Strength and numbers react different to curfews. The movement not perfume, the streets ain't gold. Our summer so cold, we left the fall on froze. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know what who we are, swear they hate us cause they ain't us. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know what who we are, swear they hate us cause they ain't us. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know what who we are, swear they hate us cause they ain't us. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know what who we are, swear they hate us cause they ain't us. so dope, my eyes low. When you move like God, the time slow. I came back for the blacks and John Doe's. Crack open them land patents, let go of them townhomes. What's a native to a native? Eat $5 dough if he not melanated. Pale faces got you waiting on a savior. Sending prayers up, he texting back on vacation. Yeah. God's children, give all your praise to Jesus, but how God feeling? He say put no one before him in divine image. It's you with God and Christians. I got a vision, but niggas ain't gotta listen, so they don't. We came from the soil, wasn't fucking with no boats. Bible took our spirit, English potted on our homes. Tribal families turn on us, don't act like y'all don't know. But fuck them and they grudges. We was something turned to nothing. And now we nothing's turned to something. Reincarnation of ancients, fresh up out the oven. This the message to the black man. 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 Shooters on my roof, lawyers in the coop. We can never die, bitch, we bulletproof. This the message to the black man. This the message to the black man. Say you wasn't slaves, you was prisoners of war. You stop wasting your time, these other bitches ain't important. You ain't meditating, you ain't mating with the sauce. Like what the fuck's a noodle if you ain't painted with the sauce? I find it hard to trust the pastor who rather side with the master, who preaching we should submit while getting murdered and captured. About how we should wait on God, it's never our vernacular. They get paid and praised by the dollar long as they keeping us stagnant. And niggas think they woke, huh? Like you could change a whole world through a vote, huh? Like slave masters willing to let their slave go, huh? That slave master was probably your kinfolk, huh? History in reverse, a black king strategy. When blacks were your majesty, they always hide your pyramids but point to where the castles be. Aristocracies with your last name patent accurately. Yeah. And I ain't even tell half the shit. Like, I ain't even tell a quarter of the shit. I'm just getting started. Y'all niggas rap about busting guns and all this weird shit. I'm trying to get my people back, nigga.
Peace and blessings, man. I'm not gonna hold y'all too much. I'm gonna get right to this next little jammy jam. Make sure y'all hit the like button and share this around on all your social media outlets. I would really appreciate that, you guys. Shout out to all my cousins in the chat. Peace and blessings and high vibes.
Niggas died in 1965. Yeah. Hey man, all I'm saying is, nigga, you always got something to say. It's like you don't shut up. On the track. A lot of niggas died 1865. Single Michael fled high, ain't gon' let it ride. Everybody hollering black was never on your side. They do match to tell your apps where you sleep at night. They put that white man on. Got you begging them for answers like that white man know. Had you swearing you was African, that's that white man home. Had you proud to be a savage, that's that white man's zone. And I ain't talking shit, this my definition. If being savage was our nation, y'all be non-existent. We done took your ass out when we was in them kitchens. Instead of showing you how to live and how to maintain business. White supremacy fake. Only way that shit real is if you do what they say. We the gods of the gate. So when they say they fear God, now you know what they made. Shoot song, move song, shoot song, move song. Put us in the same room, it gon' go down. Hit a nigga with that boom, he gon' go down. Shoot song, move song, shoot song, move song. Put us in the same room, it gon' go down. Hit a nigga with that boom, he gon' go down. Every day my niggas dying, they don't know the truth. How the hell you close to God, we don't know it's you. Yo, how the hell you supposed to survive, we don't know the shoot. He should've died, you let him slide, cause he look just like you. I tried to tell him all skin ain't kin. Everybody ain't your partner, everybody ain't your friend. How the hell they supposed to help when they the ones that put you in? They don't struggle how we struggle, they can't get it how we live. Can't be scared to die when we already dead. Either way, your life is stake no matter how you play it. My higher self said we should choose remain godly. My lower want these motherfucking bodies. Infiltrate they circles like a motherfucking Audi. Take them to the south and put them down like OG Bobby. They don't want equality and it's clear they want these problems. Killers right beside me, slam full of chicken mockers. Shoot song, move song, shoot song, Move some. Put us in the same room, it gon' go down. Hit a nigga with that boom, he gon' go down. Show some. Move some. Show some. Move some. Put us in the same room, it gon' go down. Hit a nigga with that boom, he gon' go down.
Peace, 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 man. Shout out to my big brother Trey Ali, man. Definitely holding it down when it comes to this music shit. Definitely incorporating history, understanding politics, and real life situations, man. Shout out to my big brother Trey for definitely putting his experience, his expressions, his feeling, and his lifestyle situations on that beat. Because a lot of us can relate to that. Shout out to him. And for those that can't relate, they're going to hear something they ain't never heard before and hopefully force them to go do some research. So shout out to my big brother Trey. Big brother Trey Ali, man. How y'all feeling out there, though? I ain't did a live stream interview there. I thought I'd give y'all something solid. How y'all feeling? Free Bill. Bill home. Tell niggas get off my nigga Bill. Tell me get off my nigga Bill. I got some video I want to play before we get into this particular build. I know y'all seen the video yesterday with the guy, racist guy in New Jersey. The racist guy in New Jersey. He was running his mouth to some black people, and I believe some African dude stood up for him. It was actually a dope situation. It's definitely a pull up something. Let me just keep it like that. I'm gonna say it like that. Let's get to the original video. Let's go find the original video. Okay. Let's get it, y'all. I'm gonna show the original video. Let me know if y'all can hear loud and clear. Drop some fire emojis in the chat. Let's get it.
What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? You know why? Touch him. You're gonna do nothing. Touch him. Touch him. Touch him, Pino. Put your hands on me again.
This white racist man. Now, mind you, what's been going on is this white man been fucking with these old elder people. And the African is a neighbor to these other blacks. This the African standing in front of the white man. Behind the African is a set of old elder folk who been getting terrorized, harassed by this big white man, breaking windows, shooting out their windows, leaving nails in their driveway, smearing doo-doo and feces on their car and on their front door, shit like that, right? So listen.
Twice. Punch him. And his name is Brandon.
Look how he talk.
Fucking
the old folk, and I think the old man right here that the African talking to, telling him to go in the house, his wife is white. So I don't think the white guy like that. Let's listen. Look at him, big old hunk. He's talking shit. I would have slept his ass.
Yo, you want to know why I'm going after him? I don't care. I don't give a shit.
I would have slept his ass. As soon as he came.
Shit. So why you here? I don't give a shit. So why you here? I don't give a shit. Then get the fuck out of here.
No talk.
Put your hands on me one more time. Oh, you put your hands on me. Come close to me. Come close right there. I know, right there. Come close right there. The Rolling jerseys, back up. Come close. Back up. Keep backing up. Back up. Don't touch me. Keep backing up. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Vito, don't touch me.
Look at the African. I'm just letting y'all know. Honky or nobody can never get this close to me. I would have yoked his ass. He would have got slept, slammed or something.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Fucking bastard. That's right. Yeah. My parents are both dead. Yeah, what the fuck? My parents are both dead too. And what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Nothing. What you gonna do? Nothing. All what you do is harass all people. That's all you know how to do. These motherfuckers are taking my fucking money. I don't give a shit. Well then shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up, monkey.
He said these motherfuckers are taking our money. I'm about black folk. He said you shut the fuck up, you white monkey. Listen.
I don't give a shit. Well then shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up, monkey. White monkey. Motherfucker. You're right. Get the fuck out of here. You can't do shit. Touch him. Touch him. That's all I want you to do. Touch him. Shoot up for you. Touch him. That's all I want you to do. Touch him. I know better. Oh, don't you know better? Get the fuck out of here. I got you 3 times. I don't give a shit. Don't worry. I don't give a shit about you. That's called assault. Out of here. I'm going to wait for the cops to show up. That's called assault. Yes, wait for them to come here. Wait for them. We will. Yes, keep waiting. I am. You walk on someone's property. This isn't their property, you dumb fuck. You dumb fuck. This is their own. No, this is common ground. You dumb, ignorant nigger. Have rights on no, they don't. Yes, they do. They don't have any right. Get the fuck out of here. No right. This is called common ground. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. That's all you know how to do. Walk up, harass all people. Nobody's harassed anybody. Yes, you have been. You have been. Everything's recorded. I don't give a
See, this shit boils my blood because these hunkies know they pick and choose who they want to fuck with. And like I said, that's why our social media, we got to learn how to get on code with things. And we're going to show you what happens at the end.
Everything I don't give a shit. Have a conversation. I do not give a shit. Then get the fuck out of here. I don't give a shit about you. I give a shit about them. So you get the fuck out of here. Okay?
Yeah, the African dude is taking up for the Black American people. And the Black American family is old. They're old. They're like elders and old folk. You know what I mean? They can't really get out there and wrestle with this.
Oh, yeah. Just like he does right here. This is called common property. I don't care. Okay, well, if you don't care, walk away. Learn your law. Walk away. It's not Africa. Oh, this is Africa.
He said it's not Africa. See, this one he wouldn't get away with.
I was born in America. Well, so you know what common ground. What's common ground? I don't give a shit about you. You can't be saying about shit. Go out, go back to your house, go walk your dog, go do your shit. I'm right here. Okay, stay there right there. Do not talk to him. Do not harass him. Make sure. I'm going to stay right here. This monkey over here, this monkey over here, both have.
He said this monkey over here and this monkey over there. He's talking about the dude recording, which is a black guy, and the guy that he's talking to in the family that he's fucking.
Videotape of you putting your hands on me twice. Oh yeah, exactly. So what the fuck? Make sure. I'm going to stay this monkey over here, this monkey over here, both have videotape of you putting your hands on me twice. Oh yeah, exactly. So what the fuck are you going to do about it? I'm going to press charges. Go on there. We will. Go on there. You know what the police can do?
Oh, he ain't done yet. Watch how he talk shit to the police.
You know what the police can do?
Watch how he talk shit to the police too. Watch this.
Nothing. Exactly. Because they have no jurisdiction here. Okay, they don't. Okay, that's fine. So when they get here, I'm gonna walk them the fuck off like I just did in front of Berlin's house. Okay. Who's Berlin? Okay, I don't give a shit. I don't care. The secretary of the board. Her and her daughter are the fuck out of here.
I guarantee some hot grits to get his ass off that motherfucking line. Guarantee some grits stick on his ass. He gonna get on.
I do not care. I do not care. You will not gonna harass him. You will not gonna talk to him. Keep laughing. I am. Yo, good. I will. Oh, good. Keep laughing. That's all you know how to do. That's all you know how to do. That's it. That's it. That's all you know how to do. I didn't touch you. You touched me. I don't give a shit. That's good. As long as you know that. Yes, exactly. I don't give two shits about it. You can't go press charges. I don't give two shits about it. Hold on. You're right. I don't give a shit. Why can't I press charges? Why can't I press charges? They have no jurisdiction here. Nothing. There you go. There you go. There you go. Brandon, you have no idea what you're getting involved in. Don't talk to me. And if you
told the African said, Brandon, you do not know what you're getting involved with. He don't want them protecting the African family that he been fucking with.
You want to be involved in this?
He don't want them protecting, the Aboriginal family that the white boy been fucking with. The African is protecting the black family, the Black American family.
So I'm going to talk whoever I want. Exactly.
They elders, they old.
You know what happened to the last one? I know what you did. You broke that window. So windows? What the fuck you did? Dude, I don't care. Cookie's windows got shot out with a shotgun.
He pretty much owning up to shooting at them old folks' windows.
I don't care. 222s to their fucking front face. I do not care. In Cherry Hill, their fucking daughter got smashed.
He talking shit. Now watch this.
Face. In Cherry Hill, their fucking daughter got smashed. Exactly. Is that what you want? No. And you want to know where I was when all this happened? I don't care. At work, monkey. I don't care where you were.
See, I would have ran up on him and sprung on him. I would have ran up on him and sprung on him, y'all. I'm telling y'all.
What's happened? I don't care. At work, monkey. I don't care where you were. At morgue. Just like I told the Mount Laurel police, get these fucking monkey niggers out of here and you can't do shit.
See what I'm saying? We can't allow this.
That's me talking shit. 3602 Gramercy Way, that's where I live.
He said 32. He said 3602 Gramercy. All right.
Come remember that. See me. Gramercy Way, that's where I'm talking shit. 3602 Gramercy Way, that's where I live. Come fucking see me.
Okay, come see you.
So you're real comfortable. So get me on video so you know what you see. Bring whoever.
Now look how you talk to the police.
Someone called you. It's private property. You have no jurisdiction there whatsoever.
I do
None.
when somebody calls me.
Hold on.
I need back up.
You know what?
Bro.
Hold on.
Back
Go ahead.
up.
No.
Back
I'm gonna
up,
let you
right?
do your thing. Go talk to these fucking niggers. Go ahead.
Stop,
Fuck you. Go talk to the niggers. Let them know what I'm all about and what their fucking rights they have.
All right. You want to go back to your house? I'll come back to you.
No, I'll stay right here. It's common property.
Okay.
Have a nice night.
You guys
Brandon.
from 1101? Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna let you guys get an education right now.
All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I'll do my job. Right?
No problem.
Who is at 1101? You guys want to step in and talk? Or?
Okay. I want him to go away. I don't know him. I want him to leave me alone.
Denise, I'm not going away until your husband stops fucking finding me and threatening me while I'm at fucking work.
Candy, cut it out, man.
Oh, wait.
Talk to them.
Arrest me.
The officer dicking up. He is scared that he on code with the other white man. He don't give a fuck.
I'm not
you
listening
can't.
right now. Relax.
You fucking niggers.
Just cut it out, dude.
That's what you can see, Brandon. 3602 Gramercy Way. Come see me, you
Nobody's
fucking
coming to see you.
That come see him, right? See, that's the shit I'm talking about. We supposed to be pulling up at his crib, correct?
Cagney, go home.
Am I
I'll
lying?
see you in a minute.
Is niggas supposed to be at his crib or not, y'all? Is niggas supposed to be at his crib or not? Is niggas supposed to be at his crib or not? Matter of fact, let's show y'all what happened. Let's show y'all what happened 30 minutes later. This is what pull-up game look like. This is what pull-up game look like.
My grandson was in here.
What's the name of the badge? What's the name of the officer?
Buddy, you chased my mother from across. What's up, buddy? So that here, go to the fucking house. Take that shit and fucking.
Yeah, so you see what pull-up game look like, right? That's what the pull-up game look like. That's what the pull-up game look like. Let's show them some more pull-up game. Let's show them what it look like when a nigga threats some niggas. Hold on. Let's play the video.
And they need it. They need to be held accountable because they had an officer that was out on the streets that was deployed to that residency who openly.
My bad, y'all.
What that is. And they need it. They need to be held accountable because they had an officer that was out.
Pull-up game was strong out there.
That was deployed to that residency who openly and blatantly heard this guy yelling these racial slurs. And by name, they told him to go home.
Pull-up
By
game
name,
crazy.
they told him to go home. So they're familiar with the antics of this individual.
Yep.
The bottom line is, all of you came out here today and gave these individuals, these residents in here, a voice. So you can't stop here.
Absolutely.
Accountability has to come to him and the police department and to the housing department.
We ain't done. Pull-up game crazy.
Howard.
Look at him
My
scared.
grandson was in here.
Look at his bitch ass. He's scared in the doorway. He's scared in the doorway. He was talking all that shit. 3602. Pull up, you fucking niggers want to see me. Nigga, they pulled up. Why you scared? Why you in the house, bitch? Bitch ass nigga. Talking all that.
What's the name of the officer?
Buddy, you chased my
Get him.
What's up, buddy? So that here, go to the fucking house.
Yeah, look
Take
at
that shit in the fucking crib. Take that shit in the crib, pussy.
Yeah. Hold on, we ain't done. Look at it. Oh yeah, pull up from it. Pull up from it. Yeah, look at it. Dickhead. I mean, like I said, pull up summer in full effect, man. I ain't playing none of these games. Y'all seen exactly what happened. Hold on, let's go back to that video. Hold on, let's go back to that video. Look how scared he is. My man hit him in the head with the bottle. Bing! And watch my man with the black shirt dunk on his ass with a bottle. Bitch ass nigga. That's my favorite part right there. Watch it. Yeah, that's what pull up summer look like. Anybody disrespect any other copper color, we pulling up, especially if they're in our people. Watch a nigga dunk his ass. Bing, hit his ass in the head. Even the police officers ducking. Yeah, fuck y'all. Lucky we don't go scrape his ass and pull his ass up. Yeah, that's some Emmett Till shit. Real shit. Nigga, pull up somewhere in full effect. Pull up somewhere in full effect, man. Can y'all hear me loud and clear again? Are we back clear? Talking about 3602, whatever street, nigga. Fucking niggas, you wanna come see me? Nigga, who the nigga now? Who's scared now, bitch? Punk ass. Nigga would have beat his ass to a fucking pulp, G. That was out there in Jersey somewhere. You know, them motherfuckers be already racist out there in Jersey, low key. I ain't gonna lie to you, he wouldn't even have made it that far to a lot of niggas pulling up, because I would have slept his ass right then and there. That's on everything. You understand me? That white boy got scared. He was talking big shit to them old heads. Nigga, pull up something was in full effect. That's all I got to say. It was in full effect. So, I just want to get to that video. I thought that was pretty interesting. I'm going to get into the main topic. The main topic of discussion. Well, we're going to get into that right now. Peace and blessings. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Can we get a few likes off in the building, you guys? We got 80 people in the chat. Peace and blessings to all 80, to the whole 80, 83, 84, 85, whatever we got. Peace and blessings. I'll encourage you guys, please, right now, before we get started, to go hit the like button, to thumb up the video, and to also share this on all your social media outlets. If you're new to this channel, you're going to want to hit the subscribe button. You feel what I'm saying? You're going to want to hit the notification bell. You know what I'm saying? Just follow the prompts on the screen, and we lit. Shout out to Ladriel Quintez for the Cash Out donation, man. I really appreciate that. Shout out to Ladriel Quintez for the Cash Out donation. We appreciate that, man. I appreciate the support, man. Y'all support the channel. Hit the like button, share this, man. Let's get it. I appreciate that. Don't let that brother be the only one to support the channel today. Let's go, y'all. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. So let's get to the meat and potatoes. Can we get to the meat and potatoes? Let's go.
Tinfoil hat. Oh, what the fuck are you guys even talking about?
Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We go deep, homeboy. Eric, open your mic.
A regular podcast, and then after that, do a swarm tank where people can come up and ask questions. And we'll maybe do one big ticket
Stand
for
up.
that.
Yeah.
And do stand up at a. Oh, we're listening. Stop yelling at us. Hero, Tinfoil Hat Premium, Conspiracy Social Club.
Asking me about
Yeah.
it. So it's on Rockfin
it's on-
Broken Sims. So
Go check it out. So that's
head over there.
that's love that shirt.
Me too.
We're gonna hear from everybody, not just the people that.
All right, let's get.
If you
to
could
it.
put Simon and
I don't
Garfunkel.
wanna hear the bullshit.
Drink from the fountain of
Okay, it's time to welcome back our returning champion. We didn't know he would bring his necrophilia Weekend at Bernie's shirt. Okay, this guy's going deep.
Weekend at Bernie, man. Weekend at Bohemian Grove.
Oh
man.
snap! So
This is what you wear at Bohemian Grove. You got to dress like this. I
Oh
don't know if you know that.
really? Oh really?
Yeah,
that
they're
does
colorful
make
people.
sense. That does make sense. Let me introduce you before you start going off. Okay, hold on. This is a professional show. There's standards here.
Fair.
Okay. To know him is to love him. He is there. It's supercomputer of conspiracies, and we're very excited to have him on. Please welcome back to the show, returning champion, Andres Exertus. How are you, brother?
I'm great. I'm like just outside of Mount Rushmore. I'm like looking to see where they can fit me on the. There's a rock there that's empty. I think I'd do well there.
I'm
Just
surprised
knows.
they haven't added anybody. Have
I
they
know.
tried?
I there was this rumor that Trump was like poking around, seeing if like, hey, can anybody else get on the? I don't know if that's true.
That'd be
There's a
so
timeline.
funny.
There's a timeline where that happened. That's pretty cool.
for
Don't you need slaves to make those?
Whoa! No,
Robots,
not everybody
bro.
out there
Robots
has
these days.
slaves.
No, they
No,
use
I don't
that.
like the
They
word
use
slave because
slaves
it's
to make them, didn't
derogatory
they?
against Slavic people.
No,
Unlike
it's got
which
Teddy
just use
Roosevelt
Slavic
on
It's
it.
got
words.
Teddy
No,
Roosevelt
I
on
said
it.
they used slaves to make the mountain, didn't they?
No, to make the mountain. What are you? What are
know.
they? Are they melted buildings?
Thank you for bringing me in so I can lay the rest on that idea. Could be.
I don't know. That's what I heard.
Oh snaps!
Actually, that all ties into like the Illuminati card game as well. So
Okay,
But-
so
but you're
before
trying
we
to
get
talk,
into
so why
it,
don't you
Adderall,
explain
hold
what's
on,
going on?
Adderall, hold on. Listen to me. What I want you to do is tell us, for those who don't remember your last appearance, tell our listeners, the swarm, a little bit about yourself. For those who don't know you.
Man, that is a load right there. Okay, so I'm from a planet with 36-hour days, and it makes it a lot.
And the Rothschilds and all that stuff. So that's where
Because there's
our
just a bunch of
romance
stuff.
started.
There's a bunch of stuff that people haven't heard more than the hashtag to, and it's all like a lot more reasonable than it sounds. And so I just kind of I try to just be like the books guy on that side, and also be like, hey, it's okay. People like to dress up in cloaks and burn pigs dressed as children. It's a historical thing. Let's just be culturally sensitive to the Illuminati. I think that's what I'm here for.
Nobody ever does that. How long till that becomes something? Like, I drink adrenochrome, respect my culture.
Right. I think True Blood's that, right? And Mark Twain, I think that's what he was up to. So,
snaps, dropping bombs right out the gate. Tell us about your podcast real quick so they can find you.
The nigga said
Well, you guys know Exertus. If you look for Exertus, you'll find it at this point. And I'm on.
This nigga said he think Mark Twain, who wrote Huckleberry Finn, was up to drinking adrenochrome. God damn, he just threw one right out the gate, didn't he? Is that why he was in America looking for children, getting their blood, taking them to places on the Mississippi?
On vlogs and YouTube a lot, but there's library and there's iTunes now.
That makes me think why he had all these different interaction with groups. You know what I'm saying? When he wrote the book, Life on the Mississippi. That's actually a good read now, and I'm thinking about it.
Now I'm like, your boy's been helping me out, so we've got everything kind of.
Let me guess, Mark.
Mark's been
Surprise.
United. He created Alt Media United, and so now we're part and parcel, like relationships, all that conspiracies are. So I think people that are into it, they're just they kind of want to.
Mark is seeing everybody at this point. Mark is seeing everybody, and we're fine with that. That's okay with us. The more, the merrier.
He's a pretty man, but I also just got on some TV.
He's got a pretty mouth, Exertus. Is that what you're saying?
He's a good listener.
Dude, always saying some gay shit. I swear to God. He said you got a good mouth, man. Look at this bug face ass nigga, man. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all on some freaky shit. No freaky, man.
Okay.
Oh, that's cute.
All right, guys, I want to tell you about our friends at Helix, man. You know what? Most of your life you spend sleeping. And some of you guys Don't even think about your mattress. You just lay down and go fetal position, sideways. That's how I sleep. And of course, my dog gets bam right in the corner. So I have no room. I pay for everything. I have no room. But guess what? I have a giant bed. So I don't care because Helix is taking care of me, man. It is very important whether, dude, I used to have a really junk bed and I just got the worst sleep, dude. And thanks to Helix, I sleep on clouds, okay? And how do Helix know what I want? Because they have a wonderful, wonderful quiz. Johnny took it, passed it with A's, okay? I passed it and I realized what kind of mattress do you have?
Only quiz you ever passed.
Yeah, it is true. It is true. That's true. I like firm and a little soft at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I got too. I got the one that's kind of midway soft. Yeah, you take it's a 2-minute sleep quiz. I mean,
taking it right now.
Takes even less than that.
Look at it. He's taking it right now, dude. And it was simple, easy, fast. And the best part is you don't even have to go to the store have you heard about these mattress stores and what they're thinking they're fronts for some shady shit? Not Helix. No. Not Helix Sleep.
And they'll rip you off. That's the shadiest thing of all that they do, maybe. It's just ripping people off left and right.
Yeah, not Helix Sleep. They take care of you because they're honest people. I've met them. They're good people. And I love them. Okay. So if you're looking for a mattress, take a quiz. You order the mattress that you're matched to, and the mattress comes right to your door, shipped for free. You don't even need to go to the mattress store. Fuck the mattress store. You can go online and take care of this with our good friends at Helix Sleep. Okay. So this is what you're going to do. Just go to helixsleep.com/tinfoil. Take their 2-minute sleep quiz.
I'm done.
He's done. He's in. He's out. He's already got another one coming.
I'm buying it right now.
He's buying it right now. If Xavier can do it, we can all do it. Okay. This all you do. You go to helixsleep.com/tinfoil and take their 2-minute. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders.
Well, okay, so I got all prepared because tomorrow's the cremation of care week starts. It's like Burning Man, Bohemian Man for me right now. So I'm excited for what's going on in Bohemian Grove world in California. But we did say that we were going to talk about Steve Jackson. We were going to talk about Robert Anton Wilson. And I think it's so easy to talk about all of these things because they're so well connected. Robert Anton Wilson made the Illuminati book series. He was the editor for Playboy. And he was like, send in your crazy conspiracy theories. He was also a member of Bohemian Grove. And he was a friend of Hunter S. Thompson, who was also a member of Bohemian Grove. And we start looking into how far Bohemian Grove goes back.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to say that every time just for you to hit the brakes. Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Hunter S. Thompson, good guy, bad guy, shady dude, into kiddie porn. What was it? What do you think?
I think that was a pretty good sum of it up. I mean, he wrote some really great books. He did try to take over a county and become a sheriff, which, was awesome. He was definitely into drugs and he was friends with the Hells Angels. I think a lot of nerds like to get in with motorcycle gangs. And
I have no problems with any of that. Was he producer of kiddie porn?
There's a lot of talk about Johnny Ghosh being that he was maybe forced to, when you get it to a certain level, they have to have some dirt on you. So, he definitely did stuff to be part of the system that he shouldn't have done for sure.
Okay.
But at the same time, I don't think he was a terrible dude. Like he was trying to normalize the world. And like, he definitely was the person I think they were using to kind of normalize their behavior because they don't think that they're that bad either. Like the people that are,
who are they?
The Bohemian Grove elite, right?
Okay.
They're just former, journalists and artists and gold rush, people, families. So they think that they've established themselves, right? But I think he was kind of on the fence there. Like he knew that what they were doing was wrong, and he meant that point several times. He got in trouble for it.
I 100% think something's up. I wonder how much is them allowing us to know just so we could talk about it. I mean, there's so much going on. The Bohemian, we were talking about the John McAfee stuff that went on, and everybody's circulating this tweet in which he's like, I have 37 gigabytes of hidden secret material at 33457 Thomas Street. You're like, why would he put that out? Why would he put that out? And then you start wondering, why is anything put out? Why? What? Like, let's take Dr. Fauci's emails. Like that's all part of the SPARS
Educational purposes.
Simulation that they ran. They burn a leader, you know, like they put that out purposely. It's all purposely. Why is 1 second he said
educational purposes?
Hey, why is 1 second does he say we don't need masks, and the next second he's saying we need masks? Because they want us fighting with each other.
So you would say that they let Alex Jones in to Bohemian Grove in a kind of way, not with him knowing, just kind of like, hey, let's let some of this out.
Yeah, I mean, like, how does he even know to get there? Maybe somebody approaches him like, hey, dude, I'm a deep elite guy, and I know something's going on, man. You need to come out here, man. If you come this way, nobody will know you're there. How does Alex Jones not know?
He made it because he was so like, I mean, and you know, you gotta look at Alex for all he is. Like, I love Alex. Like, he's a great human being. It's been really nice to me. But what's up? Like, he got into the Grove, he filmed this thing, and he made it look like it really. To anyone else who was there, it wouldn't have had the context of it being a satanic looking ritual. Because if you just live in California and you go to things like Burning Man, it's not that weird. It's at this point that's been so culturally normalized that you've got a song and dance number around a fire ritual. It just seems like a Disney thing to happen, you know? But he really made it seem like, hey, this is really connected with the Babylonian occult and all this esoteric that people have been trying to, ever since Geraldo, disassociate from pop culture. Because in the 80s, it was really like, you know, daytime television was talking about how there were Satanists in the military and the elite. And it was kind of becoming normalized. But then it's just sort of just dropped off. Nobody seems to look at this stuff anymore. I mean, but how is it possible that we look at all the logos for all the Silicon Valley companies, right? Like AOL is the owl, right? You know, and you look at any one of them and you start to say, hey, who are these people that are put together? George Bush Sr. and his son were part of this old boys club. And so when you go to Bohemian Grove,
the nigga said AOL is Al. AOL.
There's different campsites, right? So even though George W. Bush is born in Connecticut, like they go to George Bush Sr. and his son were part of this old boys club. And so when you go to Bohemian Grove, there's different campsites, right? So even though George W. Bush is born in Connecticut, like they go to a camp in Bohemian Grove in up the Russian River where they pretend to be Southerners. So that's why he wanted to be governor of Texas and have the Southern accent. It's like fan service for comic books if you know what these guys are doing at their club. And yeah, I think Alex was definitely given a show because there's no way that they don't know who's in there. Now, I've been twice as a guest, not during cremation of care.
I don't even know what that means. What does that mean you were invited? Now we're going to hear the emails. Dude, he's totally a fucking part of it. What do you mean?
San Francisco and Santa Cruz. I know, like, first off, I knew these trans, lesbian, bisexual, gender neutral flop.
Damn, these dudes be up to no good, no freaky. That's some bullshit. I bet he do know a whole bunch of them.
House with a pirate radio station.
Is that the name of their dick, Flophouse?
Yeah, it was almost.
He always say the most homosexual shit on this show, man. That shit is weird, man.
I wish that they knew it. But
see, what were they again? They were
all of them. All of them.
They were trans.
They were prototypical trans Marxists.
Okay, but list all their characteristics again.
Gender fluid, lesbian, trans, Wiccan, pirate radio station.
Johnny, dick or no dick? After that description, can you say 100%?
See, that's. And mind you, I have not watched this. Y'all watching it right here with me at the same time. This nigga always wondering about some freaky shit. Why you even asking about that, G?
You can't say you can't.
Nope, you can't do it. Who knows what's dangling down there? It's like, let's make a deal.
I want a whole family nucleus in a man's body. But these were, a lot of them were bartenders at Bohemian Grove.
Oh my
and so when you start to find out like how really culturally Bohemian Grove works, it's not that weird, you know. And like my family like are, you know, old California, so I have like my great grandfather and grandfather were members, and we have the books from their clubs, you know, because every year they do a play. and every play is different. You know, the Buccaneers or Pompeii or 1001 Nights. I brought Aloha because I thought that would be a fun one to check out one because it's all about the. Oh, can I get that on the screen there?
So you're
It's
just
impossible.
saying this is a giant theater company.
Well, so what happened was the gold rush. So, okay, so there's a lot of weird connections here. But what it was,
That nigga said AOL is the owl, and that nigga said aloha is part of the Baphomet. I mean the Moloch ritual of cremation of care too. So is Hawaii fake? Like,
how come I'm the only one in the conspiracy community with zero connections to anything? Like, my dad was a teacher, my mom was
Standard Hotel.
Stop, Johnny.
Good one, Johnny. Don't let him forget that one.
Johnny, I have no connections to anything. Johnny, I was a valet in the morning. The only thing I got to see is chicks blown out on coke. Show me their
Johnny, you don't think that's what you'd say?
Oh,
I'm just a valet. I'm just a valet guy. Oh, don't worry about me. I'm just a valet guy.
I'm sure he was well paid to say that.
Fight Club Tyler Durden over here acting like he doesn't
Oh
remember
my
what he does
God,
with his
my
nights.
own people have turned on.
Oh, come on. Like, you don't put on a hat to do a convention at a Shriner show every once in a while. I
did, dude. I had nobody in my family connected to anything. Jesus. I mean, dude, you go anywhere in Hollywood, there's some kind of fucking history of some shadiness going on. Like donut time is like human trafficking or whatever it is, right? It's like the Comedy Store had mob connect. I mean, like, you can go anywhere long enough. There's some
yeah, that video of Alex Jones at Bohemian Grove kind of gave niggas the insight of what was really going on. You feel what I'm saying? I think that video was done in the early 2000s. It was actually shot in the early 2000s, surfaced around projects, neighborhoods around our area, around 2005, 2006, leading up to about 2010. You see what I'm saying? When they had them Truth DVDs or them Illuminati DVDs or exposed DVDs that was going around back in 2006. I don't know if y'all remember those when they first started talking about New Beru and all these other things, these topics that was coming up. You feel what I'm saying? Like, this is the original consciousness for a lot of people that transitioned over to those to the way we think today. This was some of the shit that woke you up early in them days when you were still stuck. I don't know if y'all seen that shit back in the day, but yeah, I was definitely on that shit back in the early 2000s.
shady shit going down at that place.
That's the thing. Pay more attention. That's all. You know, I mean, like, it's definitely there.
Yeah, but like, your parents were running theater at the fucking Bohemian Grove.
No. Luckily, my dad didn't want to be a Freemason. Like, he literally signed a paper that said, "I'm not going to do it." Because his dad was in the D-Malays, like the Boy Scout thing. He's like, "How do I quit? I don't want to be around these weirdos. They're trying to run the world. Like, it just seems shady." So, and I definitely don't have certain opportunities I could have had if I wanted to be like, but at the same time, I still see how it happens because Bohemian Grove is the same thing. Like, it's the same as Burning Man. You had in the 1860s a bunch of money, right? The first generation after the 1849 gold rush. You got people from New York, they're coming through. You have these Irish, and so this is where it also gets weird. Is you have newspaper personnel. So Hearst newspaper owns San Francisco Chronicle. San Francisco Chronicle, the team that built that newspaper in the 1860s, 1870s, they had this Marin County get-together that was at a park, and then eventually they bought a bunch of land, and every year that became Bohemian Grove, where they put up their statue and where they started to do more and more things. But, it started out as like a men's club, a very important, let's see if we can find Sullivan. They had a librarian who was the niece of Joseph Smith. Okay, so when you start tying together like who some of these founders were, like Daniel O'Connell, who is a Jesuit trained Catholic Irishman who came to San Francisco and died in Sausalito. When you start looking into the Freemasons, you're like, wait, how does this work? That you have Catholics and Protestants, and the reason is because they're out in California. It's right after the Jesuit suppression. The Catholic Church, the Jesuits have been put on the outs, and the Freemasons, a lot of Jesuits have gone through the Freemasons to create their lodges and things, and they've done well. They haven't done well everywhere because they got kicked out of all the places they were doing great, but the Jesuits were still allowed to be in America, right? And especially out west. Nobody cared. And, the California, at this point, California was originally bigger than this. So in the 1850s, they started talking about dividing California. California included Utah, Nevada, most of it, the land the Mormons called Deseret, and it went all the way up to the Pacific Northwest. And they cut it into the shape of an owl. And that was the beginning of, okay, we'll rerun this place.
Oh my God, I just saw it. California is a freaking owl.
Please go buy my California t-shirt. But yeah, exactly. It's designed.
Do you see it
on purpose?
Right there. I didn't even see it.
Johnny, you don't think that looks like an owl?
Yeah.
You got to flip it.
You don't got to flip it.
Let's go back a little bit because he had it on the screen. If you look at the top right screen, where dude head is, that's the owl. But it's also got the shape of California behind it, right here where my mouse key is. He said California. Look, that's pretty weird. Thought that was nice, little gang. He dropping some shit.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys are looking at it backwards, but that's the owl. Yeah,
that is the owl. Damn, dude. Damn.
And, and like even think AOL, like owl, when you pronounce it as a kid, you see AOL, owl, and so a lot of the symbols
my
of the owl,
God.
Well, it's still
Owl, AOL, same thing.
Silicon Valley, Silicon Valley's, we do what we do. And Bohemian Grove became Burning Man, right? Like if you look up Forbes, Bohemian Grove, Burning Man, there's a great article from like 1999. It calls Burning Man the Bohemian Grove of the next generation. And how, you're wrong, Dad. This is how you sacrifice. We're going to just, instead of sacrificing a very pure animal, we're going to be vegans about it. And we're going to just have 50,000 people sacrifice a bit of their purity in a giant piece of art. And this is the new Wicker Man, right? And it's all the Wicker Man. You've seen the Wicker Man, bees, like this movie where they sacrifice a Christian so that they can have, atonement. The whole point of Burning Man is atonement, right? It's cremation of care, which is what cremation of care is, the ritual for Bohemian Grove. They say that they have a saint, right? It's Saint John of Nepomuk, who allowed himself to die in Bohemia in exchange for the secrets of the queen to be kept. And so when you start to think about like secret keeping and how a Roman Catholic saint for a Protestant organization, like all of a sudden it starts to make a weird sense, dollars of sense. You got people that have come out of Ireland, they've escaped the famine. These are the elite Irish that escaped, they went straight to San Francisco and they took over the police and they took over the media, and like the news was like cash was king because some people had no money and other people had billions of whatever you'd call, like hundreds of thousands of, I think it was like $100,000 was like $4 million or something in the.
And then if you think about it, if you look at this owl and behind them right here, that's an O with a V, and then another V, and then this could be an O. You know what I mean? Like Drake symbol. He got the owl and his OVO. You like
1880s. So all these dudes who had hundreds of thousands of dollars were having like tens of millions of dollars, and they were building, crazy compounds and encampments, and it became like the social hangout in California. Like they have a club in San Francisco, like a building, and then people would, but the thing was the women, like Sullivan had a wife, the guy who helped start the group, Daniel Cullen, actually, his wife was a girls finishing school trainer. So the very Epstein moment here, taking teenage girls and marrying them off to these guys who came from the East Coast, who were textile or naval officer, Freemasons with lots of money. And that was the beginning of this sort of like build up the elite, beautiful culture of San Francisco.
San Francisco right now is in real problems, man. I mean, it is like we are in a place of reckoning right now in California.
Well, you know that California just became the first, like the deadliest state now. It beat Chicago.
Really?
Chicago's a city. But you mean Illinois?
Yeah, Chicago, Illinois, yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it.
LA.
Because everybody's shipping their crazies here. Like somebody run for governor and put an end to that. Let's just like track Greyhound buses. Why are you?
Hey, if y'all can still see everything loud and clear, let me know if y'all can hear everything loud and clear, see everything loud and clear. Drop some ones. and some fire emojis in the chat. I don't want to keep stopping this build. I want to let it get into it. You know what I mean? Catch momentum. We got 106 family members or viewers. Shout out to all the subscribers, all the family that's in here. A lot of people like to call people in the chat fans. I would never call y'all a fan. I look at fan as an acronym. FAN. And y'all not FAN, which is a fake ass niggas. You see what I'm saying? Fan is fake ass niggas, and y'all good peoples, man.
Coming here. Why are you coming here? Who are you going to see? You need a destination. Give me your papers, man.
If you don't have a California ID, why are you here?
How is Soviet California still a thing? I think we're becoming more. What are your documents? You have to be very careful with this idea. But yeah, California is literally becoming terrifying. See, at this point in history, these guys were above the law and they would torture people. And so a lot of things didn't happen that way. So that's the other side of it. The ultra elite would just kidnap people, and there's a lot of stories of around Cremation of Care Week, people going missing, right? Not to accuse them of doing like literal human sacrifices based on their effigy of human sacrifices, but like weird stuff happens in the 1800s. Like, who can say?
I'm sure people were sacrificed. The cops basically have been like, it's just blatant now. It's like cops have always been about protecting the elites, right?
Dude always saying some gay shit. I swear, even his fucking shirt is some gay shit. It said, "We go deep, homeboy. No freaky." That's some bullshit.
That's really what it is. What kind of cases they take? Pedophiles go to jail. Yeah, poor pedophiles.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
it's like, it's like everybody who gets busted for fucking shady shit in Hollywood outside of like at the highest levels, which is, Weinstein. He seems to be the highest one that actually was in some. But all these other guys, like they get accused of something and you're like, that's not that bad. And then
Nigga, you got Epstein, Weinstein, all of them up to no good.
People who really get accused of like dark shit, like Kevin Spacey, Jeffrey Ross, all these other people, nothing happens to them. Like the real ones never get fucked with.
And even then, if you do get caught for pedophilia, you're better off than getting caught with drugs.
Right.
You'll do more time for getting caught with a kilo of cocaine than touching a little kid, believe it or not.
Like in the power structure, yeah, for sure. It's like, that's how you know those guys did it, because nothing happened to them. All right, guys, today's show is brought to you by our good friends at Super Speciosa. That's right. The makers of the finest kratom products in America, a.k.a. the Super Leaf that the tread.
Yeah, FAN does is abbreviated for fanatic, but I break down FAN as an acronym, meaning fake ass niggas. Y'all ain't none of that.
That the feds have tried, yet thankfully failed to ban. Okay, just think about it. Why would they want people having the ability to take one product that has so many benefits when big pharmaceutical can profit?
It's absolutely effective, yeah.
And they're trying to stop it because you know what? You can't profit off of natural leaf, okay? They're trying to keep you down, so you got to take their stupid ass drugs when there's a natural or prevent any diseases.
All right, let's get back into it.
How rich these people were, and they take trains when everyone else is walking across the country, or like have even in their own town they're still using horse wagons. So they're very quickly getting in a week or something or less. It's this beautiful train from New York to California. They kill somebody if they want, and they leave. It's not going to be a big deal because they're there for a week. No one's checking into it, and so a lot of people also that just were kind of nuts, that were, like, I think you think about the foundlings like Coolidge or Hoover or, and Taft apparently was kind of weird. Taft was like to hurt people. There's a lot of stories of like pretty tough guys at that period that were involved with the club, but times change. It's not always going to be the same club. That's the thing about Ina Coolbrith. She was introduced to be the librarian of Bohemian Grove, and that's where Bohemian Grove becomes that more like it's known for other things. People go to the people that are in the group and they're paying crazy amounts of money, have access to books written for the club that can't leave the club. Yeah, so they have their own, and she, Coolbrith was the niece of Joseph Smith. She'd escaped Joseph Smith's cult after he died, the Brigham Young thing in Deseret. The Mormons were saying, we're going to take the rest of that non-Al part of the state and turn it into Deseret. They created a new language. They were like, Mormon empire we're going to build. And eventually we're going to take California. They wanted, in I think it was the Mormons in San Diego. They were working in the Spanish-American War, trying to take the rest of California. So there's always been a push to create this Deseret state. Deseret is this kind of fantastical conspiracy idea.
Hey, can we get like 5-6 more likes? Can we get up to 100 likes? Appreciate everybody in the chat, man. Smack that like button, thumb up the video, and if you can, share this on all your social media outlets. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. I appreciate that.
The Mormons that there used to be an empire in California. That the gold came from the former empire that was destroyed in some sort of, blown up. Very Tartarian.
Are we into Tartaria again? Is this a Tartarian story?
Well, it's kind of interesting that it's so similar. Yeah,
it's so interesting. We brought it up to Randall Carlson. I love Randall Carlson so much. I don't want to piss him off, but
I got a bill. That's funny he brought up Randall Carlson because I was actually going to get into some geography and oceanography dealing with Randall Carlson. I was actually going to play a bill from Randall Carlson. I might do that for y'all tomorrow. You know what I mean? It just depends. I got to get the motivation again, man. Support the channel. I even talked to brother Ryan March, man. I'm trying to get that brother back on. He's still healing from his oral surgery that he had. So yeah, man, I got some things lined up, man. We got to get the energy back right. Let's get the lives back lit. Let's get the views back up. Share this around on all your social media outlets. I'm not gonna stop this again. I'm gonna let it play out.
I would love to have Exertus and Randall Carlson have a discussion about Tartaria and whether it fits into what he thinks is the whole thing. I mean, when I brought it up, he didn't shoot it down.
Well, I mean, it's hard to do now because when you start to excuses we have, it's basically Eurocentricity. It's like, oh no, only Europeans in the 1800s could have done that. There's no way that anyone else could make a brick, let alone a building of them. It's like, it's not a very good argument. And also just the amount of corroboration by really weird people. Like the fact that Joseph Smith and his niece were so into this idea that there was already architecture in the Midwest and that she left the Mormon church and started working for, of all things, Bohemian Grove. Like she was in charge of their library. This is an all men's organization, right? So the fact that they got this girl who supposedly knew more than almost anybody because Joseph Smith supposedly had more information. There's a whole theory that the Jesuits used him to create a church out of Freemasons.
Hey, big stay woke indigenous. We might need to put you on a mission, G. They going down this week. Bohemian Grove party. I might need you to go get a nice little drone. You feel what I'm saying? You already know. Get a nice little drone and see what's up.
Because they knew that the Freemasonry was a great
educational
proxy to the Jesuits, but it was just the lodge. It wasn't the church. So the more Jesuit version of Freemasonry is Latter-day Saints. And so she came out and just saying, okay, well, look, actually, we're on top of the ruins of Deseret and of Tartaria and these like lost civilizations, and started collecting what is the secret history of California that nobody can get access to unless they're a member of the club. So you're already building an entire different kind of person because the elite then are believing in this stuff because that's their history and we have no access to it.
Unbelievable. You're a machine of knowledge, bro. A machine of knowledge. I believe all this, man. I think I just gotta be honest with you, man. I don't know what is real and what's not real. And therefore the best thing is not to like try to put any of your eggs in any basket.
Right.
You know, I mean, like what are the similarities, man? It's just like, you know, there are architectural like buildings that are unexplainable. The question is who did this? Why they do that? What, you know, it's like that seems to be the common theme. I don't why can't it be Tartaria? Why can't it be? Why does it have to be, you know, the acceptable people that did it, meaning the British or the Europeans, or, you know, or the notion that the the Egyptians did it. How do we know it was Egyptians? How do we know what part of the Egyptians is real and how much of it is a made up story? Any of that stuff. Like, how do we know what's real and what's not real? And like the question is like, we can't put any of our eggs into those baskets. We got to kind of be like, maybe, I don't know, and be like, this is what I think it might be. I don't know if it's 100% that.
And that's why people that are in school or teachers won't go back, because they put all their eggs in that basket. And they're like, we got to live that the Egyptians did it. Instead of saying, hey, there's water erosion, that means there could have been an ancient civilization. They won't even look at that. They're like, nope, you're wrong.
Yeah. I mean,
scientific proof that there was water erosion.
Scientific
proof. Yeah, scientific.
That's is that when scientists tickle people? Scientific proof.
That's a real thing. You got to be careful about it. Okay, well, I wanted also to point out. So when I point out some of these books, and it's just like impossible to get this on the screen.
Yeah,
it's so terrible. All right, there you go. This one's Aloha Oi, and so this one's an interesting play because it's about how Hawaii was invented by the Bohemian Grove. And again, these are like Disney level.
Hawaii was invented by Bohemian Grove. Hawaii, Aloha, LOL, Owl, and Bohemian Grove. What the fuck do they all got in common? Let's get this shit going.
Retellings of history. Like they know the truth, they're lying about the truth, and they know you don't know the truth because of the former lies. So there's this real meta level of lie that's incredible.
What is the lie in that?
So they're exactly. So the thing is that scares you is this might be true. I started reading about Mark Twain, also a big Bohemian Grove guy, and you start to see what was going on. And you're like, wait, and also Bohemian Grove playwrights were newspaper journalists. So they were like, so Mark Twain was sent to popularize Hawaii. If you read about why people want to go to Hawaii, people were spending $300 a week in the 1800s to go on a boat to see Hawaii. At that time, the government was putting tens of millions of dollars into renting Hawaii so they could do a trade of mail from China to the United States through Hawaii because it's a great spot. But they didn't have a justified cultural outpost. So according to the Aloha Oi play, they get a bunch of sailors, they get them to move there from different parts of Polynesia. They erect a culture. Captain Cook's first mate is a Croatian guy. So if you look up the song Aloha Oi is from a Croatian song, has the same melody. And if you go to Wikipedia, official story is that Aloha Oi is not a 2,000-year-old Polynesian rhythm. And this was brought by Captain Cook's own pirate ship. And so the entire culture was fabricated to justify turning Hawaii into a state, into a culture, into a territory for us to take it over. And great story. I've heard about it a few times. But the fact that the Bohemian Grove has a play about it, and the play is this is from 1961, I think it's 1958. So before the surfing revolution, really and they created surf culture out of this. Where does surf culture come from? Okay, so you hear about the whole Polynesian surfers, but at this point, you've got redwood guys inventing it. Redwood guys used to float down the logs. These loggers would have these big flumes and aqueducts, and they would stand on the board. You see lumberjacks that would float down these giant logs. So surf culture has always been inextricably tied to California lumberjack culture. And it's where the best surfers come from. It's like Santa Cruz and Sonoma up to the north coast. That always started tipping me off that they're releasing more and more of this information. And who are these guys? And one of those guys is Robert Anton Wilson.
Okay, there's a lot to unpackage here. I mean, we're all over the place. I'm like, now Hawaii's not real?
Yeah. I mean,
okay. Like we just found an island and we created a culture of people. Is that what you're saying? So that we had a place to go when we're trying to hop to China.
And this is a play that was presented only to the elite in 1958 in California, Bohemian Grove. So if you were the governor, you had an honorary ticket. You could go see this. If you weren't, you didn't hear about this. But this is since then there have been books on the subject. There's been all kinds of exposés on it. I never gave it much salt because I was like, whatever. But I mean, I thought about it plausibly. But now I mean, when you start looking at these playbooks, you're like, wait a second. Even before anyone else was talking about it, this was already a myth or some sort of a story being made up at Bohemian Grove. What do they know? And like clearly they know the most because they're the people that were going to Hawaii in 1872.
Jesus, it's like everything's a fuck. Johnny, you went and used the bathroom. You didn't hear. Hawaii's culture's not real.
Fake.
It's all based on lumberjacks.
Lumberjacks, don't knock the lumberjacks.
I remember hearing that royal family of theirs was just a sort of a work.
That they that they just like place them there and like, you are the royals.
There's been a lot of stories about that too, and the Masons are all about that. The foundlings being raised as royals, you know.
What are the foundlings?
Foundlings are like orphans, right? That have been raised by founders. So in the foundling trains, what in this period in history, in the 1800s, you've got people with mumps, measles, or they're dying or whatever. You take 1,000 kids and put them on trains, drive them across the country, and you have signs in different towns say, Thursday, pick up some kids. And then there'll just be a bunch of kids. You pick them up and you bring them to your farm or to your foundry, which was like an orphanage, which it'd be a huge building with 100 kids. And so many of these kids are raised without any memory of what came before them. A lot of times people are like, oh, why don't you know what happened to your family in America? Well, not always a choice. Some people literally were hiding that they're Armenian and they wanted to forget their culture, of course. But a lot of people just literally their parents were taken from them. They were taken from their parents. They were raised to be, new Masonic Americans.
That happened to the Armenians. Children were taken, raised Turkish, and they find out that they're actually Armenian. And what's really interesting is that some guy recently found out that he was in fact Armenian and he killed himself.
What is that card say?
I don't mean to laugh, but I feel like that would be like a good thing, but all right, it's cool. My family name.
Oh my God, what is this?
By Turks.
It's in the fucking cards, dude. And he didn't say it. I was like, come on, is there a Hawaii in there?
Hawaii, the traditional vacation spot for the world's middle class. Hawaii gives one extra action token each turn to the group that controls it. If that group is corporate.
Well, tell them what you came on here for. It was on there for some reason. I just looked it up.
How did you find that in there?
It's on alphabetical order.
Well, now see if you can put it back in alphabetical order.
You got to find out what's before H. It's not that hard.
Why do I think he's going to be singing it?
Well, that's important. I feel like we need to talk about Steve Jackson because he made the card game.
Tell us who Steve Jackson is.
Before we get to Steve.
Yeah, I didn't believe him on that other part. He kind of went too far. But let's see what he got to say about Steven Jackson, though. Because Steven Jackson been on some shit.
Jackson, we need to do Robert Anton Wilson a little bit harder. Okay. All
right.
It's important. So Robert Anton Wilson. So he lived in Santa Cruz, right? And you guys just like Google him, type in quantum physics, Robert Anton Wilson. I was in Live Oak last week, and I was remembering how he refers to Santa Cruz as a quantum physics experiment because you can be in three places at once the way the city's divided. But he was the Playboy editor-in-chief who decided, like, let's do a conspiracy theory section for Playboy magazine in the 70s. Right? Like, genius. And people would send in conspiracies. He's like, look, I don't know whether I believe these or not. I'm just going to bound them together and sell a copy of like all the conspiracies I've heard. Things that, like Ford used to be Fjord, like Berenstain, Epstein, kind of a thing, different timelines. And that there's Atlantis myth and the government's run by these guys. And so, but the thing is, a lot of those theories are completely true. And some of them were crazy, but the fact that some of them were crazy made it really easy to put out the truth because then you could just say everything was probably crazy. And so he got a lot of people upset, but he ended up doing pretty well. Like they made a religion out of him, the Church of Subgenius, right? Where Bob Dobbs is, he's Bob.
What? Okay. There's so much going on here. Is anyone following this? It's like all over the place.
A lot going on. Bro really just scattered mine, but he's dropping some shit. And I want him to wrap this shit up. You know what I mean? Put everything in the taco and roll it up neat, man. Give it to us nice, man. What's going on?
This guy ran Playboy's. He was an editor there, and he said, send me your conspiracies.
To the public, right?
To the public. And he would just get bombarded. At some point, he goes, you know what? I'm going to take most of these and put them into what?
Into the Illuminatis trilogy. 3 books about the Illuminati.
Okay, so he creates this book about the Illuminati.
And all the conspiracies, some of them he believes, but doesn't say which ones. And just all of them. but a lot of them are true, and some of them are like at this point just Freedom of Information Act exposed as a fact. There's other ones where just the Atlantis story or this and that, but there's it's every kind of, it's a great start. If you're interested in conspiracies, read or listen to the Illuminati trilogy. And it began to really like change culture, because culture was like, wait, all of a sudden there's all these ideas, and this is post Kennedy, which is why Playboy was thinking we should do this. So many people were talking like, oh, haven't you heard that the president right now, George Bush, was the president of the CIA, and that Kennedy was assassinated? That who could have had anything to do with that? Well, who assassinates people? Maybe it's possible that the CIA had something to do with the president. And then they were like, what do we do? And the CIA created the term conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Like that's, and so
I am so amazed now how many people run from the term conspiracy theorist. It's unbelievable to me. Jimmy Dore is a little like that forever. He called me a fucking conspiracy theorist as he does that pointing thing that he loves to do when he gets really excited.
Like he's a politician.
You called me a conspiracy theorist. I'm like, dude, if you just accept the term, it loses all power. Like tinfoil hat, that's the whole purpose of the name. Is like, what can we take away from you? What term do you really like to yell at people, and just own it and take it away? Truly take the power away from that. That's why.
But listen to the difference. If you say like, hey, I'm a conspiracy theorist, or I say I believe the world's run by relationships. What's the difference exactly? Except that when I say it sounds kind of like, Californian, but it's the same thing. I'm saying that the world like isn't just run by one guy. There's a few people that know each other, and that like their interactions with each other affect world politics. Like it's not just whether or not you or I voted. It might be whether or not the water skis got a sunburn on one of the politicians' back, and like they were at a family barbecue and they got in an argument. Like I believe that stuff actually affects politics. Well, arguments between people. So or whatever, what deals are being made. And so this isn't really like the same, because when people say conspiracy theory now, I think they're trying to come up with something that's not a conspiracy, because a conspiracy is a relationship. A lot of times they're saying, oh, well, this is really about aliens that are, trying to harvest our brains or something. I don't know.
I mean, he kind of far-fetched, but I want to skip it up to about the hour mark, because that's when it get a little better. Right here.
The BBC had these articles about cloning and in vitro, and it's interesting because in the 90s,
speedy recovery back. Like, dude, I mean, that guy.
I'm gonna pause it right quick, man. I want everybody to hit the like button. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. I'm gonna just do a quick 30-second break. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. This is where everybody. I'm gonna take a quick 30-second break to give everybody a chance to, at least smack the like button, thumb up the video, share this on all your social medias, to support the channel. All right. We back. Let's get right back to it, man. Appreciate everybody for tapping in, for supporting the channel. I rock with y'all. Let's get it. So yeah, man, shout out to the 123 that's in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Smack that like button, support the channel. Let's continue this build out. Let's go.
Severed his spine that he's deadlifting 7 months later.
I mean, look at him versus like Tracy Morgan, who took
you see
forever
some of the
to
stuff
come
they're
back.
doing in the Caribbean, France and China. BBC had these articles about cloning and in vitro, and it's interesting because in the 90s they started doing in vitro where they did human clone eggs into women as surrogates, and so they just started admitting that they have these full-grown super soldiers that are genetically modified clones. So pretty much we've been doing like genetics, body part replacement, organ replacement for longer than that. But again, all this stuff coming out in the 80s, we're like, when are we going to find out? Well, we all know that if we're into this stuff in 1991, 94, there's going to be all these FOIA documents coming out. So we'll be able to find out then, but let's just start fantasizing about what the CIA is doing with MK Ultra. And out came, one of these guys who was really like a nerd into like reading the Illuminati trilogy. of Steve Jackson. And Steve Jackson was an American game wizard, game designer. So he would do card games, and card games were still.
And this is the guy from Playboy.
No. This is Steve Jackson. So the guy from Playboy was Robert Anton Wilson, who wrote the Illuminati's books.
Okay, all right.
Steve Jackson saw these books, and he's like, we should make a card game about this, about how there's, because when you talk about the Illuminati, and Robert Anton Wilson's like, well, look, I always thought there was like the Illuminati. No, there's the Illuminatis. There's all these people that consider themselves, you know what the new word for Illuminati is? Illuminated, woke, right? So all these people that think they're the woke, you know, and so there's these groups of people that want to take over the world because they think they're better than other people, right? It's kind of like neoliberal white people that want to have social justice war. Like that's the kind of wokeness, is kind of like a secret society that thinks they're better than other people, that are conspiring to change society regardless of what other people think or is right or wrong, right? So you have, according to this idea, and this ended up in Steve's game, you know, you've got the Vatican, you got the aliens, you've got the gnomes of Zurich underground that have all this gold, you know, and they're like teams, you know, and eventually you're like, okay, the multimedia team, I want to take over the world. I'm Disney, I want to take over all of the world, or the Vatican's like, we need to take over the world. So you're competing against other groups, and you can play one Illuminati group versus another. And as you pull cards, each one of these cards is a social psychological operation. And so the psychological operation is a terrorist attack, or it's a environmental activism infomercial, or whatever. And when you pull up the card, it tells you what will happen. Like if you say there's like a school shooting, this is going to take away liberty across the board from all of your citizens, because they're going to restrict their rights to self-determination or guns. And it'll also make it easier for you in the future to campaign for taking over control over their state, because they're going to look at you as the person that saved them after you broke their leg, you know? And so the cards give you this rundown of like, oh, an assassination.
Okay. So here we're getting into it. I find this so interesting, dude. I love that, you know, because Playboy was a CIA psyop. I mean, like he was basically
crazy. He was trafficking of young Midwestern.
I mean, let's just be real. A lot of this shit is a psyops. You feel what I'm saying? Like, how the fuck can you allow some group of people to come over here, colonize you, bring a whole new system, and then incorporate you in it? That doesn't make sense. If you know that since the beginning of the time, these people, first of all, they claim that these people ain't got no culture. These people ain't got no language. These people was getting sold and shipped around. Originally, what the word slave applied to, which was slaves. Then you got these people dying out in the 1600s, 1200s. You feel what I'm saying? Black plague. Then you got these people dying again during slavery in America. Then you got these people getting fucked up during the Great Depression. When have these people ever been great? When was the time that they had to colonize us? That's what I'm not understanding. This is the bullshit that they tell you. This is our system. Everything that's been in place has always been in place. American culture is Aboriginal culture. There's no distinguishing, no difference. They did not bring nothing. It's not a mix-up of everybody's culture. The culture that you see that America takes credit for has always been here. This is the confusion. Let me continue. That's another bill for another time.
Girls for that's just, you're just so bold.
Like when we look back, we're like, how did no one not think that this dude who had a house where you could go fucking do whatever you want to it, and that, you know, the problem, you know, it was ultimately the downfall of the Playboy parties was like, once you were invited, you were always allowed. So like, over time, all these guys were like getting old. So you had like 70-year-olds hanging out at these parties. You're like, dude, move on. You're like, no, I'm allowed all the time. But you didn't think there was a honey trap? You didn't think they were setting you up for weird shit?
Clearly, the honey trap of honey traps.
Some Epstein shit.
What?
Some Epstein shit. Some little cameras in the holes. No one knows.
Yes.
Epstein didn't come up with this, right? Like in the ancient world, like in Italy, you know, you'd get a prince with two women on either shoulder, and you'd have the whole court hear about it. The idea is to get people that are dirty. If
You know how
don't
they
have-
blackmailed them back then? They would have it like a guy painting in a secret place. He would paint what he saw. He'd be like,
And if he
show
got-
us the evidence.
So if you got the right inches on the cock, they're like, oh, that's that
look
goes
at
down.
that, look at that.
Look at that.
Yeah.
He's got a mole right next to his thigh.
So all that.
They're always talking about somebody else foulest, man. No freaky, man. These niggas are gay. Real shit. Can't fuck with these type of dudes, man. No freaky. These niggas on that bullshit. The fuck he always talking like that for? Fucking up a good deal.
That stuff. So, and they, obviously they, Hugh Hefner was owned, controlled. You always heard stories about him where
Bill
he was
Maher
having
is-
sex, like he was getting pegged by the girls watching gay porn. Like that's why they controlled him.
You think he would have got hashtag Me Too if it would have
I
been
think
back in
that-
the day?
No, I don't think gay guys get Me Too. I really don't.
I believe you. Oh yeah.
I mean, the gay thing is also important. Like a lot of these politicians forever have been gay.
Hold on, man. See. This is where I just got to hashtag this whole little part. Y'all just drop fire emojis. Y'all want me to skip this part. No freaky, because I ain't in with this. Y'all want me to skip it. I let it be up to y'all. If y'all want me to skip it, I'll skip it. If y'all want to listen, drop fire emojis or something. If y'all want me to skip, say skip. Goddamn. Just say skip. If you drop fire emojis, that means you want to see it. If you want me to skip it, say skip. Goddamn. I ain't play no games with y'all. That's some bullshit. Skip. Oh, I see a skip. Skip. All right, straight up. We skipping.
The only problem I have with that is men used to sire many children with many women. That it was only till recently that it was like you were meant to have one woman, and this has been this is the women moving forward to lock down what they want in a man, and there's a hold on one second. There's a whole thing that the Me Too movement is this attempt to get men to not be so promiscuous, right? But when things come out like this, women sleeping around and men being promiscuous and women selling sex, my whole thing is is it moral decay, or is it an accepted that this has been going on forever and to not demonize it? Do we want everything to be do we want every woman we know to be in OnlyFans? Do I hate OnlyFans? I do not hate OnlyFans. I have no problems with women doing that. But do you and this is for women too, do you want to make everything a transaction? Right? But my point is it's this kind of correction that needs to happen. We need to also be not pushing people into this really dark underground where it's not safe, but also you also don't want to be we don't need this everywhere all time at the same time. Do you understand? I learned that with the Naughty Show. I'm okay, I had a porn addiction. I used the Naughty Show so I could do dirty comedy because that's my mind. I like dirty comedy. I like to say dirty things. I think they're funny, okay? So I created this thing so I could go up on stage and do my dirty jokes without people going, oh my God, I gotta put on a show so I can walk out and let everyone think I'm angry. Go fuck yourself, right? So, but then I also realized that there's a lot of people cool with porn stars. They just don't want it everywhere at all times. And that is the biggest difference. It's like what we're talking about with this quote unquote trans agenda. Nobody cares if you're trans. We just don't want you dressed.
Nigga, you don't care. I care. I don't want, man, this conversation dead.
Hide.
I couldn't agree more.
I feel like if you don't let kids kind of come up with the future, we're imprinting on these kids this stuff. And it's I mean, all I know is I've been through a lot. I could only imagine what a trans librarian's been through.
Man, he been through a lot because he been probably, look at him. They got, just look at his face. They took advantage of this young man. Please give them some help.
So the kid probably needs a little bit more like of their own time to themselves to come up with the things. And probably this is the biggest thing is we shouldn't be reading to children, which we should be listening to children. And
well, I think it's a little bit of everything. The truth is, and this is a man who's friends with a lot of trans people. I don't care. Live and let live. There's not enough trans children out there to warrant a complete and utter overhaul of our educational system to that we should be introducing anal to children at 5 years old. There's not enough of them. Johnny, we were talking about this the other day. Statistically, the number of gay people is not high enough to warrant a complete and utter change in our educational system.
It's something like 4%, but most people estimate it.
You're worried.
Like
you're worrying about a society today, like less than 4% is today. If we keep at the rate we're going, and this is monarch programming at its finest. If we take kids and we traumatize them young so that they can memorize things that they can only pull up when we want them to, and these kids become, so again, we were talking about Hugh Hefner, and I was trying to bring up Bill Maher. He was when 1997 got the key to the House of Apollo, and there's all this footage of him with all these like just about 16 to 18-year-old girls. And you're like, okay, so here's where are they getting these girls? This is how you program them. You build a society that sexualizes everything, makes them feel like every interaction is a transaction, not necessarily, I didn't mean a pun, but then there's a lack of love. It's more of an economic transaction. We're getting to that point where people feel, and a monarch is like based on that butterfly that can't, if you touch its wing, it shatters, right? So they touch as little as possible. So you get like a very fragile future. These kids do not like to have sex like the former generation. I think that if you're talking about some of the best things about the 80s, I think a lot of people had a lot more sex until AIDS became a problem. But like in the 90s on, people started getting weird about sex. And now you've got kids who are, they say they're poly and all this other stuff, but they're having sex, I think it's about 10%. What people used to have sex at.
No, I totally agree. Now that it's so open, it's not as taboo, and it's not as big of a deal. And a lot of this is internet, virtual reality stuff that they're starting to enter as well. But my whole thing is like live and let live. Be who you want. I do not don't tread on me applies to your religious values, your guns, and your sexual orientation and how you want to dress. You do you. It's like I have a friend of mine who I love with all my heart. This person is a wonderful person, but I posted something about how the court making Britney Spears have an IUD, right, is the same thing as the government making you get a vaccine. And this person went on another post of someone who reposted it and says they did not see the correlation. They think that's a bullshit correlation. And I go, well, because they said even though they are for choice for women when it comes to reproductive, they don't think that should apply to an airborne virus. I go, because that's your point of view. That is your prism. And the rule should be across the board. Government stays out of your body. It's just when you do that, there's going to be things that are covered that you don't agree with. But when you take that stance, it covers everything. And you have to do mental gymnastics where you're like, well, this shouldn't happen, but this should definitely happen. It's like, no, man, across the board, including things you don't like. That's how you do it. And it's just like, it's so interesting. Like the right and the left both do this. Blue Lives Matter versus, cops infringing on people's rights when they want to have a business and they're trying to shut them down for Corona, right? Or cops coming to take your guns. Like, if you just make a stance of corrupt cops need to go, asshole cops need to go, you don't have to do mental gymnastics on that. And that's my whole opinion. And why am I yelling? All right, go on.
I had to throw up a Illuminati card. This is the apathy card. Play this card during the attack, except for the Illuminati themselves. No group may use its transferable power during the attack. So apathy is a really important one. I guess I'd also say another one is, let me pull up.
Well, I want to comment on apathy. I know people are like, Sam, shut up, let him go. But I think there's a difference between pulling out your energy, your attention, your money from a system, and apathy. Apathy is the worst. To not care is the worst.
You get so much sensationalism that you stop caring. So that's the thing with the game we're talking about. You're saying do what you want to do, but you're saying that to people that watch TV and order stuff off of it, you know? So much of do what you want to do becomes do what you're told is a good idea for you and your lifestyle. And people are being told that by 4 or 5 competing groups, whether it's the Christian right or it's the, you know, whatever. And you got to imagine, like, they're setting up for a society that will have a certain goal. I think dehumanization is more of the goal than transhumanization. That we pretend that it's like in order to become a woman or a man. Is it really? I think it's more to remove these ideas of man and woman, and so that we have more just the worker, which is like.
I really don't give a fuck about this conversation.
Who got sex changes?
You know, like I think it was 2 of the soldiers involved with the Osama bin Laden extradition, where they killed Osama bin Laden. They have had sex changes since then, which is like, these were SEALs, you know what I mean? Like super.
Hold on. This nigga said some Navy SEALs, after capturing and killing Osama, came back to the Americas and got a sex change? Hold on, I gotta run this back, dude. They on some bullshit today.
It's something that was installed on them, you know, and they've argued like whether or not.
Hold on, what? Life. Who got sex changes?
You know, like I think it was 2 of the soldiers involved with the Osama bin Laden extradition, where they killed Osama bin Laden. They have had sex changes since then, which is like, these were SEALs, you know what I mean? Like super. And so the story is, they were so manly because they were trying to hide the fact that they were feeling super feminine inside. It's just a little too close to the center of it all, I feel like. You know, I mean, I'm for the story. I'm for that narrative. But in this circumstance, it fits in with the idea that, like, they're not allowed to know what's really going on. They're victims of hypnosis. And, you know, this way they're actually literally creating a new personality. They're like, you're really this other person. You know, this person is a woman, and you just need to go through all this and you'll feel better. So that's like, not to say that everyone's like that, but hypnosis is real. You know, hypnosis is more real than gender dysphoria could ever be. And it's something that's used on people all the time.
Interesting, dude. So I want to get back to the game. So
Right.
How is the game actually played? And then we can go through some of the cards.
Cool. So Steve's made a number of these kinds of, like, I guess you could call them just regular tabletop board smart card games, where you have a team versus another team, and like a chance card and a psychological operation card. You have a pack of cards like that you can use. Each group, each Illuminati that's trying to take over the world, they have certain at their disposal psychological operations they can lay down, and you also have certain things that will happen to you. And you're like, oh, I went through this place. Essentially, there's not like a board that you go around.
There's no board. There's no board.
I mean, you could theoretically lay it out in a way like a board, but there's no trail that you're following.
It's not Monopoly. I'm not going around a board like that.
No, it's more like Pokemon or Magic or something like that. You play, it's like a Magic the Gathering, or, you know, it's more like Magic. You put down a card, then there's a response to that card. And if they say, okay, this is, you know, 2 points or something, then you put down a 4-point card. So we say like, okay, well, we're doing an environmental activist thing where we're all recycling, and the recycling is, you know, taking over the media. And then so that way no one can notice what nefarious goals that we're up to. And someone else says, okay, well, I'm putting down school shooting. And so now obviously school shooting is going to trump environmentalism. And so someone's like, okay, well, I don't know. I got to do something. So like, I'm going to put down Christian right fundamentalists arguing on daytime talk shows, because that might actually do enough on the women that are cleaning the house and the socioeconomic backgrounds that we could hit just these kinds of people, that we could take over Canada. Or, you know, and this is literally, the game is that specific.
And how do I know if I won or not?
Well, you run the world, you know, and like everyone else can't run the world because you ended up in charge.
How do I know if I won the world? I don't play Magic. You're a nerd, Johnny.
Well, I played Magic briefly when it was very
Of course you
popular.
did.
But I don't really. I mean, I just remember the thing of playing cards. But the thing that I think we're both having questions about, Andreas, is how the scorekeeping as far as like taking over countries and stuff? I don't quite. How is that recorded?
So they all got
How is
points
that
on
done?
them. They all got points
Right.
on them.
Each card has points, and there's like Illuminati cards, group cards, and special cards. And so there'd be like the
No, but
Bavarian
the countries,
Illuminati
though.
versus the Discordian Society versus the UFOs versus
Oh, so I get 30, you get 30.
ability
It's a
or
fucking
autonomy.
board game.
And
It's a board game. I'm not really into the board game. We'll let Cuz finish up. I'm gonna give y'all a little sneak preview. What I'm probably gonna show either sometime this week. Might give it to y'all tomorrow. Might give it to y'all Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I don't know. But I got an exclusive bill gonna deal with some geology. I'm gonna give y'all a sneak peek into that.
because a lot of
Next
former
week.
agents ended up in the Church of
The next
Subgenius
show.
and searching for Slack.
Subgenius?
Yeah, the Church of Subgenius is the probably like the big takeaway is like there's not just Scientology, there's not just Satanism, there's also the Church of Subgenius. It's a parody religion, but it's pretty accurate. And you should check out like on YouTube, there's like a 2-hour video that's like they put out in the 90s. It's like X day is coming, and their voices are melting and things like Slack. We must have Slack. You have to slack off is the full goal. It's like the
What does
creepiest,
slack it
weirdest-
off mean?
Like slack is not hard work. So the idea is that there's an order of people that are better than other people, and that they're supposed to work less hard. We're the subgeniuses, and we worship Bob Dobbs, who was able to sell snow to Eskimos, you know, and like that, it's like a perfect parody religion. Like it's the reason it exists is because like with meta magic, you don't want to remove all symbolism, so you have to continue to have what religion offers people, which is voodoo, you know. And there's another card is voodoo capitalism, because once you get people believing the product will work on the commercial, you have a few weeks to get it running by the time they get there. And if 1 million people believe it, then the power of consciousness might actually make your vacuum cleaner actually clean. So voodoo capitalism is a big part of meta magics and, you know, running this world the way that this world's supposed to be run by these people. But you asked the question about how the game is played. What was the part you were missing?
Yeah, I mean, basically, so let's say the three of us are playing. We each get 30 cards, and we go around, and we just got to outpoint the other person, and then whoever has the highest points cards at the end wins.
Yeah, so the aim of the game is fulfilled with the Illuminati build a power structure consisting of given number of cards depending on the number of players, or when the Illuminati fulfills its special goal, such as controlling at least one card of each alignment for the Bermuda Triangle. Okay, so you know that'd be
what Johnny.
We need to watch like an instructional video.
Yeah,
we need another nerd dork.
Yeah, this shit is thrown off, man. I'm gonna get out of this, man. We're gonna go into another little bit of something, man. But that's it on this video, man. I don't know if y'all still in here with me, man. Seeming like we got 140 in here, but that bill was not. I mean, it was good. It was very informational. It went into some shit. Yeah, man, it was dope, man. I appreciate y'all for showing up. I am gonna give y'all a sneak peek, but in order to get the sneak peek, I'm gonna need y'all to support the channel. I'm gonna need y'all to slap them like buttons, y'all. I'm gonna need y'all to slap them like buttons up ASAP. You understand me? I'm gonna need you to slap them things up ASAP so we can get the sneak peek. All right, let me get the sneak peek up for you guys. Let me line it up for you. I don't see no fire emojis off in here there, though. I don't see no fire emojis. Well, shit, we'll wait. Let's get some fire emojis. I get out a sneak peek here. And there's fire, too. And wait till I see a few fire emojis. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Peace and blessings. You know what I mean? I'm saying love and high vibes to everybody, each and everybody in the chat. You feel me? Nobody gets skipped. Peace and blessings and high vibes and love to everybody. You understand me? All right, I'm going to give y'all a sneak peek. Y'all with it? All right, let me give it to y'all. Boom. We're gonna get into this great energy. We're get into this great
alternate. Just anything that's outside the mainstream appeals to me, but I'm particularly interested in the geological history of this planet and how it may have affected the emergence of the human species, how it may have affected the rise and fall of civilizations, and that sort of thing. So this trip we did in May out in eastern Washington was to look at the geomorphic effects of the greatest floods ever documented in the history of planet Earth. And in 5 days, we were only able to see a small fraction of the whole complex, which reaches from the Pacific Ocean into Montana, from there up into British Columbia and Alberta. And so one of the things that I find so appealing about that is I don't think anybody's really figured it out yet as to what actually could cause floods on this scale. And later in the show, we can pull up some slides that will kind of convey to the audience what the scale of this thing is that we're talking about. I will just mention, though, that some of the peak discharges during this flood were measured in the hundreds of millions of cubic feet per second.
Listen to
now, try to wrap your head around what that actually means. I'm always looking for ways to convey to people the scale and magnitude of this phenomena. But in this case, think of it this way: about 300 million cubic feet per second. It's one of the mid-range flows. This flow of 300 million cubic feet per second is roughly going to be between 10 and 20 times the combined flow of every single river on Earth. Every single river. North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, every single river flowing all together at once. And I'll give you another analogy. Typically, the Mississippi River at peak discharges maybe 100 to 150,000 cubic feet per second. The two largest known floods on the Mississippi River, one in 1923 and another one in 1993, topped out at just over 1 million cubic feet per second. So the largest flood disaster, most expensive and costliest flood disaster in American history was the 1993 flood disaster of the Mississippi. And
y'all hear that? I just want y'all to let that. I just want to run that back. Just a few seconds for you guys. It's just for you guys.
So the largest flood disaster, most expensive and costliest flood disaster in American history was the 1993 flood disaster of the Mississippi. And like I said, think of that. I kind of use that as a standard, a yardstick, if you will, 1 million cubic feet per second. So in some of the peak flows of these flood landscapes that we were looking at out in eastern Washington, the flows reached 700 to 800 million cubic feet per second. So try to imagine, if you can, 7 or 800 Mississippi rivers at peak discharge.
He said, imagine 700 to 800 Mississippi rivers flooding at peak velocity. God dang.
Largest measured flood discharge.
Let's bring that back, because I don't think you guys paying attention. And this is going to get into what we call resets, what we call mirror reflected history reconstruction. So this is when historians look at events and over the course of time in multiple areas and line them up and show how they measure from event to location to planning to everything. So, but we're going to get into that. I just want y'all to pay attention to what he's saying about this flood.
Some of the peak flows of these flood landscapes that we were looking at out in eastern Washington, the flows reached 700 to 800 million cubic feet per second. So try to imagine, if you can, 7 or 800 Mississippi rivers at peak discharge, largest measured flood discharge. So the point here is that these are phenomenal events. Most people are completely oblivious to the fact that events like this have occurred across the face of this planet, and then I think even some of the geologists and other scientists that are looking at various aspects of this phenomena are not fully appreciating really the implications of it. And like I said, I think that there's sort of a consensus viewpoint as to what caused these floods. We can talk about that in terms of the specifics. But once you begin looking at it, I think the consensus viewpoint begins to make less and less sense. And we have to be looking at a much larger framework, of a much larger conceptual framework to understand that there have been events like this in the history of this planet. They've been more numerous than anybody had recognized even a few decades ago. And these are things that have to be factored into our long-range thinking if we're going to have any hope of surviving as a civilization. And I, for one, would like to think that we have an unlimited future ahead of us if we do it right. But if we ignore some of the natural factors that have played out over this planet, over the millennia, from any scale, time scale you care to look at, well, if we ignore those factors, we're going to find ourselves in a world of hurt, I think.
I couldn't agree more. We those who forget history are doomed to repeat it, and that's a very cliche saying, but I couldn't agree more. We see it happening just in a couple decades of politics. We see
absolutely
it happening where people are just repeating the same mistakes and not remembering. And it's very interesting that you brought up the conventional thought and how, like, the more information we get, the more ridiculous conventional thought is. And how, like, there is this shit meter didn't catch that they were being I wear that with try to do that again with Iran. Oh, they attacked our drone to just sit there, stand. Amy Vice of podcasting and episodes wherever you.
In other words, putting out really ridiculous sounding conspiracies in order to discredit the credible conspiracies by, guilt by association. So that's kind of my concern is I certainly do. Look, I tend to be conspiratorial by nature because I understand how politics works. I understand that they're constantly having to modify history to suit the narrative that they're trying to put out there. And that's, I think, what's at the whole.
I mean, that's very critical to what he just said, which is the same thing that I've been saying, we all been saying collectively, is that they're lying about history. They're finding new data, but still modifying it or making it artificial to suit their narrative that they initially put up.
Basis of all this cancel culture stuff that's going on right now is that we see that whenever you've had authoritarian or totalitarian,
and the guy at the top is Brother Randall Carson. You probably hear me mention him a lot. That's Dr. Richard Randall Carson. Let's get it.
Regimes, that's what they first do, is to rewrite history, to make it sound like they are the inevitable outcome of history, rather than the fact that they're manipulating history to further their own agendas. But, the way the world is now, it's not going to work anymore, I don't think, because there's too many disparate flows of information out there. The only thing that's lacking, though, is the will on the part of a lot of people to really want to know what's going down in the world. They don't want to know, really. They would prefer to keep that veil up there. Let me just focus on my little world and not recognize that whether we like it or not, we're part of a much bigger system. And one of the things that I like to say, Sam, is that I try to point out now that if you're following the science of the last, typically in the last half century, but especially accelerating in the last couple of decades, is we have to realize that this planet we're on, if we want to start talking about ecology, we have to think in terms of a cosmic ecosystem. Because this planet we live on is part of a cosmic ecosystem. And what goes on in the cosmos has direct effects on what goes on here.
What goes on here, and that's the science that they call astronomy. Our ancestors mastered this. So
here below where we live and play and build our civilizations. And if you look at the history of civilization, I mean, how many civilizations have left their pitiful ruins around the planet that we can now study the wreck and rubble of these ancient civilizations that rose up and collapsed for one reason or another. And usually that collapses because they were not adaptable to the changing world, the changing planet that we live on.
I totally agree with that. I also think that there, when people talk about Greece or they talk about, Rome, they always blame it on like everything got loosey goosey, like morals got loosey goosey, and nobody paid attention and blah blah blah. And I think that is just another psyop. If you were asking me, it's like greed got too greedy. In my humble opinion, empires spread themselves too far. Power got consolidated. Money got consolidated. Wealth got consolidated. And the base didn't get taken care of. And then it collapses on itself. And that to me is what I unfortunately see happening with the West is this consolidation of power. But that's a different podcast. What I love to do is talk about like, I mean, we hold these phones and they're like, this is the greatest technological advancement in humanity. And you're like, tell me how the pyramids were built. Tell me how that happened. It was much more important than an iPhone. And that story is what everyone needs to understand. And you're really right. There's so many different flows of information, and there are people who just choose not to listen to it. Like, I don't know how many podcasts there are out there that just go over the latest episode of the Real Housewives of New Jersey. You're like, all the things going on in the world, and you want to do a podcast about a bunch of chicks who married a guy who did something, right? And it's like it's so mind blowing to me but it's like it's the path of least resistance. Anything in life that is worth anything, you have to go through it to get to it, and people just don't want to do that. It's so easy to just fall under a brainwashing and just accept the information's given to you because the way the system's been set up, we're getting spread out more and more. We're working more jobs for less money, and it's so hard to just be able to focus on a million things. So we can just go home, turn on the news, and because we're nice people, we think the people talking to us have honor, right? They're honorable people, and they're just giving us the news without their spin on it. And that has been exposed as not true. And you're right. We're entering a time of great knowledge. And, I study the occult and all that stuff. And I think there's been things done to traumatize us to stop this kind of great awakening that's coming of great knowledge and great love and great acceptance of others that many people are trying to stop from happening. And I hope that this leads to us understanding how many great civilizations there were. And maybe people like you, Randall, can help us understand why they fell. And how can we stop that so that we can be very excited about this? Because, like I said, ancient knowledge is dude, we all have guilty pleasures. I just don't know if you should do a podcast on it. That's all.
Actually, I don't even know if that's a real show. I guess it is, right?
Yeah. Hey, everybody, I want to tell you about our friends at Lucy Nicotine, okay? Lucy Nicotine is a company founded by, so it's 2021.
This is the Middle Ages.
All products on your first order, including gum or lozenges, okay? This is addictive chemical, okay? Lucy.co, and be sure to use the promo code tinfoil.
We can actually look in our immediate past and we find some really salient examples. One of the things that I've been really interested in for years is the Middle Ages and these phenomena of the building of the great Gothic cathedrals. I don't know, Sam, if you've been to Europe or not and had a chance to ever see some of these incredible architectural masterpieces.
I have
Chartres, Amiens, Reims, Leon, some of those. If you haven't, put it on your bucket list. You got to do it, but make sure you talk to me before you go, okay? But if you look back at the history of Western civilization, one of the last great historical periods was of cultural evolution was during the Roman period. And they built an incredible civilization. They were amazing engineers. They had a whole system of law, ethics, philosophy, and then of course it degenerated in a
And I'm gonna end the video right here, man. So tune in this week. Y'all will get the rest of this. Y'all will be able to get the rest of this. This is a fire bill. It goes into a lot. Hopefully, y'all be able to tune in. Drop some fire emojis if y'all ready to tap in. I am gonna be doing the Sunday bills, the Zoom classes, the private Zoom classes. I will be giving y'all more information on that. I'm gonna get with a couple of the brothers I was supposed to set up some bills with this week. Got busy. A few things came up, but we're gonna be back in line this Sunday, you guys. So yeah, drop some fire emojis, man. If y'all feeling this shit, man. I fought with all my cousins in the chat. Make sure y'all stay lit, stay up, stay woke. Keep spreading this Aboriginal Indian information. Waking your peoples up in your neighborhoods. That's what matters the most, man. Give yourself a pat on the back. Sometimes y'all forget how good you are and how great y'all are, and how much of effect and how much you play a part of this movement as anybody else. You feel me? No matter how large of the platform, no matter how little the platform is, you play just as much of a part. So sometimes we forget to give ourselves a pat on the back. So make sure you give yourself a pat on the back. Make sure you give yourself a pat on the back. I wasn't going to do an open panel this morning, but since people asked, then I will drop the link probably. I'll probably drop the link. I don't know. But like I said, man, give yourself a pat on the back. You understand me? Y'all are the ones to do this. You understand me? We got to be the realest, man. We got to really equip this science and bring out some good information. Shout out to Eagle Hawk. Shout out to Realize. Big Chief, fuck you crackers. Uncle Larry's Hoodoo Corner. Shout out to True History of Often Hidden, but will come out. Shout out to you. Shout out to Sean Yasharel Roderick. My man Hiker. Shout out to Eagle Hawk Condor. Tamika Dion Williams. Truth 111 Truth Searcher in the building. Shout out to that good brother. Shout out to Inductive Pleasures Finest. Shout out to Coffee Shop, Robert Felton. Shout out to Robert Jones. Shout out to Johnny Aberhart. Shout out to United Through Life Struggles. You understand me? We all united. Shout out to Cherokee. Shout out to Ladariel Quintet. Shout out to Empress Awaken. Mike in the building. Ian Jones, what it do? Dion Williams. Mr. C. Latifah Miller. Immortal Amaruin. What's up? Realize TV, what it do? Pep G's in the building. Charles Johnson. What up, though? Dawood, what up, bro? I ain't mad at you. Fire Energy. That's fire with a P. Shout out to Fire Energy. Robert Hill. And I believe that's it for everybody, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Oh, man, how can I forget, man? Shout out to my big brother. Shout out to my big brother, Jaguar Omet, in the building. Jag with the mustache. That's my nigga. Shout out to my name, Jag. That's what's up, man. The link is in the building, man. I'm going to give y'all a quick little second to come on, man. We ain't going to be on here all night, man, but let's get it in.
Yo,
What's going on, bro?
Look at that African American flag right there, y'all. Y'all peep that?
What the fuck is that?
That's African American
flag.
I represent my African colors with the red, black, and green on there. And of course, you got the American flag, even though we ain't deep in 50 states like that. You feel me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
what's going on?
Oh, not much, man. I'm trying to see what y'all talking about. I seen y'all talking about Bohemian Grove. You feel me? In the title. I hope I didn't miss out on it.
Yeah, you kind of did.
Oh, okay. yeah, I was gonna try to chime in a little bit on that, but I'm just giving y'all a shout out, man. You know what I'm saying? My brothers, my Olmecans that really Africans, but you know what I'm saying? Hold on, what did he put? I am an African freak. Yo, say that in your language. Speak that in your Native American language, man.
Say what?
Speak that in Olmecian.
Nigga, I ain't no Native American, nigga.
You are Olmecian. You gotta speak that in your Olmecian language, not in this British language that y'all speaking.
Why you want it in the Olmecian language? It's gonna be more. It's gonna sound better to you.
But we know y'all can't speak it.
No. I can though. But I just want to ask you, why do you want me to speak the language? Is it gonna penetrate your soul to where it's gonna make you uplift you by calling you an African freak, or what? What is it gonna do to you by me speaking in that language? I just want to know what do you get out of me telling you that you are an African freak in my indigenous Olmecian language? What is it gonna do for you, brother? I'll speak it for you, brother.
I'll speak something to you. Keep on going.
Hey, but listen though. I will speak the Olmecian language right now. If you can ask me to speak the Olmecian language in the indigenous African language. If you can ask me a question, if you can ask that question in the indigenous African language, I will answer you in the indigenous Olmecian language right now. Let's go.
I can say a Lafayette to you. I can say a Lafayette to you.
No, nigga. I want you to ask your question in the indigenous African language of your choice, and then I'm gonna answer in the one that you want me to answer it in. Let's go.
Matter of fact, I need to get somebody on the panel. I need to call my.
You need to go off the panel. You see, every time I get this nigga on, he be running like a motherfucker.
Why you even let that nigga on here, man?
I feel like clowning.
We know you really from Pontiac, man. But we also know the real Chief Pontiac wasn't a Negro. He was a chief. Don't sit here and say Chief Pontiac was Aboriginal. Chief Pontiac, we know he wasn't a Negro. We know that his features had the mongoloid features with brown.
Hey, but listen though. Let me show you. Let me kill you with this whole argument though, because one of your homies, Black Power Banging, said his homeboy had a Native American granddaddy that was a chief named Chief Joseph. Correct? Yeah, that's a fact. So listen, I talked to the actual great grandson of Chief Joseph. Right? He's a nigga. I've been building with him. He actually found the real pictures of his great granddaddy, Chief Joseph. But if you was to Google the pictures of Chief Joseph, it'll look like a Mexican or some shit. So we know for a fact, no, because the real pictures of him is a Negro standing next to his children. Yes. So listen. So we know for a fact that they whitewashing and they rechanging the history right now in real time that you can examine right now.
Man, Dan Calloway and them been photoshopping shit like crazy. Man,
listen, bro. Listen, you over here talking about another clown just like y'all niggas, man. Listen, you talking to the big dog now. Big Al Power. We ain't talking about no little dang. We ain't talking about no little dang. You talking to Big Al Power now, nigga. The undefeated, the undisputed, the nigga to put everything on the line, out accessible nigga, G. So now you in the presence of me, my dear lost wannabe African. That's why I call you a Wafrican, because you're a wannabe African. So
y'all
now listen.
Stole our word. Y'all done stole our word. Look at that. Y'all done stole, like y'all stealing these people's culture. Y'all sitting here stealing these Mexicans' culture and these Native Americans' culture.
Hey, listen. Y'all
don't even believe in Bigfoot. If you a Native American, you got to believe in Bigfoot.
Listen. No, bro. Listen, you confused. That's what I'm trying to tell you, G. You gotta listen, cause you blend in. See, first of all, let's break down your whole motto, bro. Let's be real, because I want to tell everybody what you got going on. We got a Negro who's born in America, who's never been to Africa, grew up under Western education in the hood, got a job. He became conscious on Afrocentric information, and now he's learning Aboriginal information under Western indoctrination, which includes artificial history, such as Native American history. So now your African cotton-picking mind is blending Aboriginal information and Native American history together. You're confused, brother. So now let me explain something to you. We are not Native Americans. First of all, if you use that terminology when speaking to Negroes of our stature, right, brother, then you're already lost. Once you fix your vernacular, buddy, then we know that you're on the right page. So when you addressed us as Aboriginal, American, or Indian, right? And you can add first Indian on there if you want, but either one of those is cool with me. I'm not even going to argue with you, right?
But
So
you're not from India. You're not from India though.
So okay, that's fine. Call us Aboriginal. So when we get into
Aboriginals in Australia.
The people from India are called
world.
Hindustan people.
Aboriginals around the world. There's
They're not even called India.
There's indigenous Aboriginals of Africa. There's indigenous Aboriginals of Australia. There's indigenous Aboriginals of America. Do you understand me? So now let's listen.
Why are you entertaining now
listen,
bro?
Now let me explain something to you.
Right, Modi is lost, brother. You lost.
You're still saying Native American, brother. So we don't want to get on. We don't even want to get on anything lost, right?
He said we lost, but he just said we not from India. But India didn't get that name until 1940 something, cause it was called Hindustan. So they weren't even calling themselves Indians. They was calling themselves Bhaktan and some shit like that, nigga. So like, what are you talking about, bro? Like,
look, let me
clearly, you not indulging information because you would have known that.
Why y'all entertaining this nigga, dog? The bill wasn't about Africa today.
He up here, bro. We got to.
I'm here to learn.
Hold on, Dion. You up here to pick some knowledge, nigga? What you up here doing? Cause we about to beat this African up. What you want?
I don't understand why niggas is entertaining this nigga, man. Your bill ain't had shit to do with Africa today. Why you letting them throw you off, man?
Because we tired of these old light skin. We tired of these light skin H-Town looking ass niggas coming up here with this black ass African shit.
We gonna keep beating them down. We sorry, cause they gonna go to listen. They can pop up on anybody else platform and they gonna get weak ass information, right? They gonna keep getting taught that royal bloods are, and y'all niggas gonna like Dion. I feel like I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like you scared of the smoke. Hold on. Dion,
what up, man? Let me hear your BS today.
I think you ducking from every time King Cass come on, you get scared. I think King Cass will whoop you up with some information, G. Oh,
where's
G,
King Cass at, dog? Ain't nobody ducking these niggas, man.
Let me go run this store real quick.
This nigga light
niggas ain't ducking these niggas information, dog.
Hey, nah, man, fuck that, man. This light skinned ass nigga got this dark ass nigga. This motherfucker advertise shit trying to tell us we from Africa, man. It's always these old light skinned ass niggas. Like, come on, man, stop playing, man, with this frivolous ass information and shit.
That nigga say you're Native American. You believe in Bigfoot, right? What the fuck?
What the fuck, nigga?
Like, your ass been talking to the Hopi, nigga. Go sit your ass there.
Boy, ain't nobody out here on no. Hey, yeah, man, get that goofy ass shit the fuck up out of here.
Nigga. Yeah, your ass nigga, a peace pipe.
Nigga, I'm like root words, nigga. We had castles and buildings and shit. Right. River, nigga.
Right, y'all got us slapping rocks together for fires. We got solar fire starter shit. Come on.
This nigga said King Cass like King Cass got internet, dog. This nigga Bap so fucking silly, dog.
Hey,
I'll fuck with you on that one, though.
Hey, King Cass whoop you up, Dion. I feel like he'll whoop you, G. I don't think he got it.
King Cass ain't even got information.
Man, Dion, you scared, cuz?
I think he ain't got no information. Look, y'all, what Bap is doing, he trying to lead me to battling one of these.
Listen, True. Every time this nigga,
I ain't trying to waste my time with these niggas no more.
It be anybody else on her, Dion be with it. He be trying to get, let me get at him, Bap. Every time this nigga, King Cass come on, he be like, get him out of here, man.
The lies niggas is scared while nigga in the room. How you spread lies while a nigga in front of you?
We done found the seed picker. We gonna call this nigga King Cass the seed picker. Yeah,
Yo.
Niggas is
Hey,
fatty
look,
as
I heard
fuck
somebody say
today.
I'm light skinned. Y'all know all Africans not dark skinned, right?
yeah, because of migration. So yeah, we do know. Do you know why?
No. You can go to West Africa and it's different shades of melanin.
It's due to migration, brother.
You know what I'm saying? Like the darker skinned Africans are like in the Sudan and shit like that, man. So
I didn't know
and
It's
Africa
due to
is the only
migration,
motherfucking
G.
place
which
that was
come from
giving
East
out melanated.
Migration.
I didn't know the land of Africa is the only motherfucking spot that had melanated people.
I mean, no, we can show you pictures of Mayans that are melanated that live to this day. Look, I'm dealing with somebody
Nigga, I'm gonna
that's
show you a picture of me, nigga.
You're not. No, these people are not you. They call them. You know what? The person I know that's from that area call them. They call them the mestizo people or the Indian people.
Bruh, are you tripping? Do you not know the Olmecs was everywhere, bro? They was in Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia,
bro,
motherfucking South Carolina, and they settled in these places. So the Indians there blended and became one. That culture blended. So the people
bro, but
that you
they
think
brown
that's
skin.
in these areas is I'm an Olmec. You talking to a motherfucking Olmec right now, nigga.
Bro, you don't know no Olmec custom. What are you talking about, man? You gotta have an Olmec custom
Listen, I
language.
practiced the Olmec custom my whole life, my G. Let me break it down to you. They
Y'all be like,
always was advanced with what? Metallurgy. They wore jewelry. I've been wearing jewelry. They was advancing.
everybody's done that.
Listen. I'm about to break it down to Olmec culture, G. I'm talking about Olmec culture. Listen, Olmecs was the best in football and basketball. Nigga, I'm the greatest. Nigga,
Bro.
I'm like Jordan in my high school, nigga. Fuck you talking about? I practice Olmec culture. Nigga, we didn't put on moccasins and put on sandals like you Africans running around barefoot. Nigga, we put on rubber shoes. Nigga, you know what's rubber shoes? Nigga, Jordans, Nikes, Reeboks. You understand me? That's
Self-made by the white man.
Aboriginal culture, nigga. So let me break it down some more to you. You understand me? I follow my days by my birthday. I mark that motherfucker off on the calendar. I know when the next birthday coming. I know when the holiday coming. Guess what that's called? A calendar. That's Olmec calendar. You understand me? So I still practice my culture, nigga. So now I'm gonna explain something. I'm gonna explain something to you, my dear African brother.
Here we go.
Yeah, I know. Here we go.
Here, when y'all start. Oh yeah, football. Y'all learned about football and baseball
Hey, so
through
what
Europeans.
indigenous African language do you know?
Bro,
This is
who
my turn to
owned
ask some
the
questions.
football?
Come on. Now, I
Team?
just answer a couple questions. I want you to answer some questions. Don't answer my question with a question. Just answer them directly. If you can't, just say, I don't know. I ain't got it. I don't do it. Whatever. What African languages do you speak, G?
Yoruba and Kikongo.
Are you Yoruba an indigenous African language?
How I learned it? You know how I learned it, though?
Is your family from Yoruba?
Is my family? Yeah. And my Nigeria, I got like, 25 to 30% Nigerian bloodline, bro.
Is all Nigerians speak Yoruba?
No, all Nigerians don't speak Yoruba, but Yoruba came up.
What is the dominant language in West Africa amongst Nigerians?
It's between, they got multiple languages, brother. They got multiple languages.
What is the dominant language? I didn't ask what are all the language. I said what is the dominant language?
I mean, the Nigerians are the most populous. So, but they speak. I mean, what you want to say? English? Shit. I mean, we want to talk about that. Technically, it'll be between English and French that's spoken over there.
English and French, right?
Amongst the tribal languages, the Yoruba are the most dominant. Then the Igbo are next.
Nigga, so what I'm saying is you don't even speak none of the African languages. Nigga, you just made up your role, but you only made up. Listen, my point is you only brought up your role because that's some of the spiritual system that you've been following with that Santa de Maria and all that little bullshit that you think come from Africa. So listen, let me explain something to you. What African culture?
What y'all won't debate nobody.
What African culture do you practice that your family practices?
This why I say I don't debate these niggas, man. He
you
just told us to come on here.
Hold on,
he just told us to come on here and speak in Aboriginal language. Then turn around and said the motherfuckers over there speaking English too.
You know why? Because they've been colonized, sir. That's
Then we say the same thing for us. We say the same thing about us.
What happened? Hold on.
So what happened with us?
Watch this, D. Are
You
we
niggas was
colonized?
brought over
Hold on, watch it. Hey,
boat.
Hoodoo Corner. Are we colonized, brother?
Yes, y'all colonized
Okay,
and was enslaved.
cool.
Y'all were enslaved and colonized.
Cool. How long has the French and the English been over there in West Africa?
We talking about since the 1600s. Well, first Portugal. Hold
on. So Portugal spoke English and French?
They spoke Portuguese. I'm saying them was the first.
I'm saying, when did the English and the French come to West Africa?
Around the 1600s, brother.
That's
I
a
just
lie.
said that.
That's a lie. Be real. Come on, get a real date. Look it up if you got to. Don't freestyle it.
Well, what you talking about? That's the truth. Look at how long Haiti was colonized by the French and they're bringing African slaves there.
No. We ain't talking about Haiti. We're not talking about Haiti and French connections. We talking about French, English, and African in Africa. When did they get to Africa, bro?
Haiti. I'm using Haiti because the French were bringing slaves from Africa.
I want you to use Nigeria. I want you to go to Nigeria, what you were just speaking of. We're not going to dance around. When did they get there? When did they get there? I want you to explain.
Were there first.
I know that. I know who was there first. See, now you're dancing around. See, that's how you know I got them, y'all.
I'm not dancing around. What are you talking about?
Listen. We know who got there first. I want to know, when did the English and the French get to Nigeria? This is a specific question, bro.
The French, they were getting there around the 1600s, brother. That was when they were getting over there.
That's a lie. That's a lie. The Portuguese was there. The Portuguese was there.
They were there first. What are you talking about?
The Portuguese was there.
Yeah, they were there.
The Dutch was there. Listen, the Portuguese and the Dutch was there. French was not there. You're lying. Listen, let's be real. French and English invaders did not touch down into West Africa, into the interior of Africa until the late 17, early 1800s.
No, they were there. They were coming around the 16 and the 1700s.
Hey, can I get in on this?
You lying your ass off. You don't have no source. You don't have no source. You don't have no source. You don't have no source.
Drop one.
Was down there.
The heaviest one was the 1700s. Look, go read Santeria Enthroned by David H. Brown.
What year in the 1700s? 17 what? I said late 1700s.
He want to know the date, the hour. Did they come out?
Because it was like late. It was like 1770s. Long after
the Haitian Revolution jumped up.
Had already been colonized, bro. After colonization had been implemented.
Hey, when was the crack era? Like the 1900s, sometime 1900s.
The Haitian Revolution started.
The crack era was like sometimes 1900s, right?
1980s, 1989,
1988.
So
thank you for a Pacific answer, dog.
I can't even say the fucking word aloud. Happened earlier. No, because y'all trying to look for specifics and stuff like that. Nigga, this is 1700s when plenty of ships are going over there. Half of the records
what company was these ships up under?
That's why you niggas don't know your history, because a lot of y'all.
What company was these ships up under?
Nah, see, listen,
where can I go find these ships on paper?
Hold on, y'all. I want to let Truth get in.
Indian Dutch company or something like that, yeah.
Hoodoo, you dancing around. See, the real scholars don't do the blanket. When we have a strategic argument about a particular subject, we narrow in on the particulars. And the particulars are going to get into fine detail. We need exact time. We ain't got to have the exact month and the time, but we need a rough year, because you got certain situations that take place in one course of the year that's totally different in the next year. So let's get it, man. Go ahead, big brother. Truth.
Watch the German documentary, Slave Route, on YouTube. It's a four-part series.
Man, listen, bro. I put $1,000. You ain't got no source in the English and the French was in goddamn Africa in the 1600s, 1500s, like you keep saying.
I didn't say the 15. I didn't say the 1500s.
You said the 1600s too, nigga. Stop lying, nigga. Yeah, you cap as hell. You throwing up fake, so I got $1,000. You can't pull up a source right now to say that. What are you talking about?
Okay, I'm gonna send you the source. And I want you to post that shit.
Okay.
All right. Well. If the English went into Africa into the late 1700s and all that, then who the fuck was bringing all these motherfucking slaves from Africa?
Bro, the Spanish and the Portuguese will bring it. Most
All right,
of the
what
slaves
company?
were
What company? What
Spanish and
what company?
Portuguese areas.
God damn, bro. What company was they working up under?
What you
Because
got?
each
Was
one
it
of these,
the East
each
English
one.
Dutch Company?
Okay, so the East Indies, the Portuguese East Indies and the Dutch East Indies Company was operating in Africa. I thought the East Indies was in Southeast Asia.
Look, that's what the company name. That's one of the companies.
I mean,
And
but
they had
also when you start,
that's
hold on.
why I need y'all to watch. That's
Oh
why I need
my
y'all to watch
fucking God.
slavery, because it's a bunch of-
No, nigga. I'm gonna go
it's a
straight to
bunch-
the scholar.
You
I'm gonna
had
go
the
straight. I'm gonna go straight to the scholars that is motherfucking well renowned with this information in this.
I'm gonna post that bank to y'all out of England that was shipping
Damn,
slaves
nigga,
too, bro.
I see what
You
you're
want me to
talking
post
about,
that? You want me to post that? 'Cause I'm giving y'all sources.
about, Dion.
I'm giving y'all sources. I'm telling you, I don't have the bank name exactly.
I mean,
but
one my brother, your
BNG
source is invalid because the Portuguese East Indies Company and the Dutch. Well, if you let me get it off, you understand what the fuck I'm saying, nigga. Like, goddamn, bro. I've been listening for like 20 minutes and they said shit. Can you give me a minute?
Man, I wish y'all niggas would stop playing.
I mean, I wish you would let me get a minute and stop fucking over talking me like you know what the fuck I'm finna say.
You about to say some bullshit, but go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
you know what?
Y'all want to battle the Pan-Africans,
nigga. Dion, you right, man. you
I'm
right,
listening.
Bro. Nah,
I'm listening.
You, nigga. You got it. AP. I'm cool. I'm cool.
Can I ask a question?
I'm gonna let you talk to this light-skinned ass African.
See, now the niggas are coloring. See, here coloring. This is some shit.
Because you full of shit, my bro. Like, I'm trying to talk, and every time I get 5 words out, you want to fucking overtalk me, but I just sat back for 30 minutes and listened to you rant about shit. I gave you the same respect you won't give me. So when you don't show me that respect, nigga, yes, fuck you. I'm asking you to let me talk. And I'm done asking. Okay. Okay, now let me talk. You say you listening? Listening.
Yeah.
All the documentation dealing with the Portuguese East Indies Company, the Dutch East Indies Company, and even the British East Indies Company show them operating in the East Indies, not West Africa. Everything about West Africa is hearsay. When it comes to actual documentation of the ship movement, the production movement, and what direction was they moving in, they was operating up out of the Southeast Asia into the port of Manila, which was sending ships from the port of Manila into the Americas by the Pacific, not from the west coast of Africa. And we can get into the motherfucking actual documentation about these companies and where the fuck they was operating at. They weren't operating in West Africa. So you need to let me know what ships and what company was they under that operated under West Africa, because that Dutch East Indies shit and Portuguese East Indies shit, we done already proven that they was operating in the East Indies. And when they was operating in the West Indies, they called their company the West East Indies Company. Where the fuck is this West African company at? You can't use them. We done went through
because
the
it's not. Yes, you can. Man, there's plenty of sources. They were known for trading fucking slaves. They probably were getting spices and shit from fucking East Indies. They getting, they had the spice over. That's where the fucking Silk Road started.
Nigga, they was getting slaves from East Indies.
Trade fucking heavy. How the hell they were taking them to Suriname? It's documented that they were taking slaves. The East Indies, Dutch East Indies Company taking slaves from Suriname. Taking slaves from Africa to Suriname. And y'all keep denying it. It's a fucking whole community in Suriname that still speak the fucking Ghanaian languages over there right now, that are the Maroons that live
Bro,
in
can
the
I ask you a
fucking
question though? Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, man.
So if the Dutch and the French and all them was going to war with each other since the whole slave trade was supposedly going on, how did they have time to team up with each other to go to Africa and ship slaves from Africa to America while they still fighting wars? Make it make sense, bro. All these people was at war with each other at the same time.
Game. It's like the dope game. You got a nigga on top of the dope game, but motherfuckers coming in on the block and stuff like that. The motherfuckers beef and set motherfuckers up. This not unheard of. Where do you think pirates come from? The pirates fucking raiding the ships and shit like that.
My nigga, all right. So hold on, wait. So you saying these people stopped their war, pieced it up, built these ships, went to Africa, took the slaves from Africa to America, and then went back to Europe and was still warring and fighting with the Indians over at the same time? Y'all give these white people too much fucking power over y'all, my nigga. Come on,
wasn't it successful drug dealers that had a time of peace before they went to war with niggas, or got caught by the
Our
police.
drug dealers going all the way to Africa and bringing drugs back to America, my nigga. Make it make sense.
Bro, that was what you talking about? Yes, that's why it's fucking niggas over here. Why won't y'all go look up the motherfucking Maroons of Suriname? I'm giving y'all physical motherfucking sources. Y'all won't look up the fucking physical sources. It's got a whole fucking. They got their culture down there still in fucking tech in fucking Suriname. Like y'all won't look that shit up. Y'all nigga Indian. These niggas, they took a nigga from Ghana over there to communicate with the niggas.
My nigga, what have you studied outside of Africa? You talking about we Indian. We already studied this Africa shit. It's been debunked. No, you didn't. What have you studied outside of Africa?
This shit.
King Cash, ain't nothing that you said been true.
Nothing.
Bro,
bullshit.
The Maroons of Suriname.
Bro, take your ass to Africa and go eat some monkey meat. That's what you do. Please hurry up right now.
Hey, can I say something real? Hey, can I say something? Hey, let me say something real quick. When I start talking about these companies operating out of the East Indies, we actually did went and look at them, and we was told the same shit too, that these companies was operating out of West Africa. But when you start going looking into the motherfucking actual documentation, you see them snatching up slaves from all over the fucking Indian subcontinent, all through Southeast Asia up into Japan, and also Mozambique and East Africa, but mostly from the Indian subcontinent into the Southeast Asian Sea and shit in the Spratly Islands up in there. So once again, my brother, we done went through this shit because we done already been indoctrinated by this African shit. And when we start going into the actual fucking research, nigga, we see that it was some fuck shit. So what company was taking these goddamn slaves from Africa, brother? Because the battles of the Dutch and Portuguese battle of East Indies, that battle happened in the East Indies. It didn't happen in West Africa. It didn't happen in Atlantic. When they was
you know they colonized all the places too. You know they colonized East Asia too.
Nigga, we know, nigga, they was up, nigga, Manila is Philippines is named after King Philip. So you're not telling me shit new. So how was this East Indies company operating up out of West Africa, bro? Because we don't see them.
Bro, they were operating. No, they were operating out of Europe. They were taking slaves from West Africa.
Bro, you not listening. You're not listening at all. You're not paying attention at all.
Thank you. He really not, because what I'm telling you, when we went into the documentation of these ships and travels and they dock and embark and disembark and shit, they was operating in the landmass of the East Indies, snatching up slaves and everything, because New Spain was bringing in all the silver from the Americas into the Manila. None of the countries, Portuguese or the Dutch.
So they ain't enslaved niggas, bro. They went way in the Pacific and got goddamn, which they were bringing indentured service over from Asia. So we ain't gonna deny that. But you gonna deny that in fucking Portugal
for 300 years though, bro. But for 300 years though. They was doing it from 1560 into 1815. For 300 years, nigga, they was bringing fucking slaves from Asia, nigga.
So that makes my point valid then, bro. If they did that, why couldn't they?
That's documented though. That's documented.
To America.
And they didn't come across no fucking Atlantic Ocean. They island hop, bro. Come on now. Use common sense, dude. You can't go straight across a plane can't even fly straight across the Atlantic Ocean. Come on, dude.
They brought Asians way from the fucking Pacific Islands, but deny the West African slave trade.
My nigga, do you know you cannot sail straight across the fucking Atlantic Ocean, dude? Do you know that?
What?
You can't sail straight across the Atlantic Ocean, bro.
Bro, it's closer.
No, it's not.
In the Philippines. The Pacific Ocean is big as fuck.
So you still think the world is a globe, is a sphere, and is a ball? That's what you're saying?
Oh shit, this nigga's a
flat earth. Don't even go there with him. You just gotta be like, bro, you think the maths is true? Don't even hit him with the flat earth and none of that. Just bro, you think the maths is true?
Shit. Oh, so this is what y'all flat earth.
Yeah, it's common sense over here, buddy. That's what we deal with. Common sense.
Man,
you still think your people was laid down, packed like sardines, laying in shit, piss, and throw up, bro? That's what you still believe. You retarded as fuck.
Yeah. That's not a problem.
Did your family?
I don't know if the earth.
You still believe in the Alex Haley stories and shit.
Don't let this flat. Y'all believe in the flat Earth. Now y'all just said y'all believe in the flat Earth and shit.
I just told you, bro. I don't know if the
flat
Earth is flat or not. I just know that
Earth.
the maps are wrong.
Nigga, ain't nobody talking about no motherfucking flat Earth, nigga. We talking about America.
The
And we
boy
talking
just
about the
said the flat
history
Earth. This
of
nigga said
America,
niggas get
G.
made in 50
Don't try to switch it up, G. Listen, let's be real, G. Your inaccurate information of history is really sad, G. Because you come on here with the same points. And when somebody get into the narrative, into the real questions, you duck and hide, and you come with weak ass sources that you made up.
Where I duck from?
Hold on. I just want to say this: the information that we're providing you is accurate. These are source, reference, ship ledgers, manifestos, and more. What I'm saying is you agree with a narrative that was spreaded on our people through indoctrination fabricated by Alex Cady's story that was pushed by Western education to indoctrinate our people with no receipt information,
Man,
no ship
Alex Haley shit is
or no ledgers or no origin of status of both a cargo documents or anything. So what I'm saying is you got notice that they don't teach you the Asian history in school, but they got all the facts and information on it. They push this fake African story that they give you with no documentation on it. And you have over the course of your adulthood and your livelihood, you became emotionally attached to this African story to the point where now you will have incorporated artificial indoctrinated history into your real history. So now you do not know which one is which. And
Bro,
this is
I'm pretty sure he took a
The only
DNA
thing y'all can
test.
provide to connect y'all with fucking Native Americans is some cartoons out of books. We can point to niggas that look like niggas over in motherfucking Africa that look like niggas we know over here, and y'all pointing to goddamn cartoons and pennies and crayons.
Listen, this ain't a pointing game, bro. This ain't a listen, King Kid. This ain't a pointing game, big bro. This ain't a pointing game. This is
So
big
what do
boy.
y'all call it? Y'all don't have actual pictures.
This is big boy scholarship. This is big boy scholarship.
We can show you
You know what I'm
indigenous
saying? It's
people
like,
in all the
look,
lands.
I ain't gotta go to no comic book to tell you that you're talking to an indigenous Aboriginal nigga. You talking to one. You're amongst them. This is needless to say. So this is not even a conversation that ain't even something that I even gotta put effort in to show.
It's Christianity
because
2.0.
I'm literally right here showing you right now.
Hey, it's crazy. My man said that all we got is comic book. Bro, what like you talking about comic book? Nigga, I got a fucking census record, nigga, with my family listed as fucking Indians.
Man,
Then mulatto.
and I can point to
Then
niggas
fucking
that's
black.
alive to this day that still practice
So what are you talking about? What are you talking about, bro? You talking about comic book, nigga? I'm talking about actual documented history, nigga.
Census.
My family,
yeah,
nigga.
And not just to piggyback off them, nigga. We got other government records from vital statistics, state archives as well, explaining the history of where we from, baby boy. So listen, all that African shit is some made up shit. We can go in. When I say that I'm an old man, I'm not making up some history that was in a comic book that shows Olmecs migrating to North America, nigga. I'm talking about documentation that shows and proves Olmec settled in regions, nigga, and blended and
where did you learn you from Africa?
Bro,
who taught you from Africa? Who in your family? Who in your family? Who in your family got history of y'all from Africa?
I can tell you because African Americans, the niggas from the Caribbean, South America know who they are. It's the niggas in the
man, fuck them niggas, bro. Nigga, we mainland, nigga.
More shit that y'all be on. You feel what I'm saying? Like, nigga,
hey, look,
you can go to
bro.
Cuba right
That nigga Truth said, who in your family told you African? He said the niggas is in the Caribbeans know who they are.
Who in your family held the history records that y'all from Africa that didn't learn that shit in school? All right, man. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. We don't fuck with no Islam or no fucking
Malachi York.
What the fuck are you talking about, nigga?
The light keep growing.
What the fuck, nigga? We don't fuck with none of that shit, nigga. I asked you a simple fucking question, bro. Bro, why are you bug dancing? I asked you a simple question, bro. I did not fucking try to play games. I asked you who in your family held the family records that say y'all actually came from Africa.
My uncle got the family records, and we akin to Ibrahim Ibn Suri. That's a Fulani. that was brought over here to Mississippi as a slave.
So you a
boom.
fucking foreigner, bro. You need to leave.
Exactly.
No, he was
You a foreigner, nigga. You need
He
to
was
leave.
enslaved in Mississippi.
Fucking
He was
European.
enslaved in Mississippi. But you niggas will refuse to go to fucking Haiti where
Hey,
they
King
fucking
Cass, can I ask you a question, bro?
No,
Can I ask you a
let me
question?
talk. Let
Can I
me
ask you a
talk.
question?
Let me
Why
talk.
Nah,
I
because
go
you
to
got
Haiti
people off
for,
anyway,
bro?
so can I ask you a
Bro, you
question?
act like Haiti is the cradle of civilization or some shit, nigga.
No,
What the fuck I gotta go to Haiti for, nigga? My
because we
family's on the
talking about
mainland,
slavery.
nigga.
We talking about slavery.
Okay,
We know
but all
niggas
right,
from Haiti
all right,
was
all right. Let me
brought to
ask
New
you something.
Orleans
All right,
too.
let me ask you something. If you was a slave, would you be put down as head of household in 1840 and 1850 if you was a slave?
Bro, they had freedmen.
All right, once
You know
again,
what I'm saying? Freedmen
wouldn't you be labeled as a freedman though?
in there.
But wouldn't you be labeled as a freedman though?
It all depends if
Yeah,
I was
they had
fucking
free.
free. I'm not in
They
1800.
had free. No, this the thing. This the thing, bro. No, bro. You're trying to generalize. You try. No. You're trying to fucking. All right, bro. Just because you talk nonstop, bro, don't mean you right, my G. No. Hey, can you mute this nigga? Who got the
I'm mute.
fucking
I ain't
echo
saying
going?
nothing. I'm
Hey,
listening
look.
to you.
My bad, bro. That was the echo going. Somebody got the echo. All right. They had a section for freemen, and then they had a section for free
King Cass,
inhabitants
mute your mic, bro.
that didn't have no color to it. It didn't have no color to it with the free inhabitants. If your ass was a slave, nigga, you wouldn't be listed as head of a household. And if your ass was a freedman, nigga, they'd have had your ass a freedman on that motherfucking document, nigga. I got documentation of family that's heads of household with no freedman name attached to their name whatsoever during the time when they should have been enslaved. So how do I respond? So how do I respond to that? All right, the whole neighborhood the whole area that they live in that was put in on those census records, all these people would be considered as black people too, and none of them were slaves. They was all heads of household with their family members up under, and they wasn't freemen. They was considered free inhabitants.
So this was after 1865, right?
I mean, this was before 1865, nigga.
What region? What region was this in? I know this wasn't no fucking Mississippi or nothing.
Mississippi and Louisiana. Matter of fact, I give you the exact ward, nigga. Ward 1, Union Parish, nigga. Pimento Homes, Mississippi, nigga. Ward 3.
They motherfucking they had a family enslaved in Mississippi to the fuck. What's that? Y'all seen that documentary where they had them still working as slaves all the way into the 1960s as one family? They still had that shit going on.
First off, what you're calling slavery is actually business malpractice, nigga. They controlled the world markets of all the fucking cotton and all the agriculture that we was growing and we was fucking sharecropping. So since they had the big mills to spread this shit out to the rest of the world and shit, we had to take our crops and shit to them. But what they was doing was they didn't want to pay us everything we was owed. And then a lot of times they were saying that we was short on the amount we was supposed to give them. So in actuality, we owed them. So they used tactics to not pay us for our motherfucking labor on our own fucking land.
You talking about sharecropping that came after slavery?
On our own land. Okay, well, you said they enslaved the motherfucker into the 1960s, and I'm telling you what you call it slavery is actually a business malpractice.
One family in particular.
All right, once again, bro, we're talking about business malpractice, bro, where they did want to pay niggas for their motherfucking work, and there was a lot of that shit going on where they was trying to starve us out economically. Hence why a lot of the motherfuckers from Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana went up into the Midwest, because them bitches was starving us out because they had control of the agricultural markets to the world, nigga. So our money was based on our agriculture going to the world. They ass owned the fucking mills. So afterwards, nigga, they start fucking playing games and shit and not want to pay us our money after they got our fucking crops. And when we tried to fucking call them out on it and shit, here come the fucking mobs and shit, nigga, trying to quail us down and fucking attack us so they don't have to pay us our money. So it wasn't that nigga was in slavery, nigga. They wasn't fucking paying us. And when you're not being paid for your work, nigga, it's basically another fucking form of slavery without saying that you a fucking slave. You done work that whole season, motherfucker, to turn in your agriculture to get paid for that shit for your family and shit. And when you turn the shit in, they pull some fuck shit and didn't want to fucking pay you, nigga. So that's what really was going on, nigga. You trying to call that shit slavery? No, nigga, we call that shit stick up, nigga. They robbed us, nigga. So get it right, nigga. That's my area, nigga.
when you don't control the narrative, shit, they robbed Africa of slaves. I mean, to think that they will rob you of motherfucking
Truth, you ain't
goods
got
and
no headache
services
yet,
and all
dog.
King Cass, can I ask you a question, bro?
What's up?
What research have you studied on the American Aborigine, aka the American Indian history? What have you studied?
Bro, I used to read all that shit. I used to read
You used to read what? Name a book.
Came before Columbus and all
I
that.
didn't
Look,
even
let me tell you,
realize
I
I
was
was talking
studying
to
this
King
shit.
Cass.
Some of y'all probably younger and shit. I was studying this shit in the fucking early 2000s.
Okay, what else book have you read? What other documents have you looked into? What
Nigga, I'm 38 years old, nigga.
I was studying Stolen Legacy. I was going there, nigga. I met Claude Anderson and all them in person, bro. I was studying all that shit, man. I've been through all of it. You feel me? But I never
You've been through all of it, and you still
way.
believe. Go ahead, True. Go ahead, True.
Nah, you got it, bro. My bad. I'll mute up.
I was just gonna say, bro, you claiming you studied this American Aboriginal history, and you still believe your people was packed like sardines and brought over on a wooden sailboat, bro?
Bro, it's not impossible.
Your common sense didn't kick in yet? No?
It's not impossible, man.
Like A1 said, you still over there playing in your ass with this African shit, bro?
Bro,
it's
not impossible. They got slave castles. Go look at the slave castles.
Where the slave ships at though? Where the slave ships? Show me one.
What the ships that brought?
Show me one.
What the ships that brought all the white people over here?
We talking about the African slave trade. Show me a slave ship.
The Jesus ship, nigga. What the fuck, nigga? It's well documented, bro. Through the Jets.
Exactly.
Hold on. Wait, hold on, bro. God damn. Hold on, bro. Because I'm not agreeing with you, nigga. You said the white people, nigga, in the Jesuit letters, also in the archives of all these European nations, but also in the archives of these motherfucking Sultan regions of North Africa, there is well documented of fucking millions of white motherfuckers being taken into slaves and they ships being attacked on the sea and they ass being fucking bought in as slaves. And the motherfucking the European nations used to send the Jesuits, the European. All right, once again, let me finish. The European nations used to send the Jesuits and the churches down to the area to see how many Christians sold. So at the same time that they supposed to have been going into West Africa, snatching your ass up to bring you to America and put you in slave, you had a bunch of fucking Africans banging on the coastal seaboards of fucking Europe, all the way into the Atlantic region of Europe, and every fucking chance they get, banging on these crackers and snatching their ass up in slaves. So millions of their people getting banged on, their ships getting banged on to get snatched up in slave, and they still got enough manpower to come down into the interior of Africa and steal slaves from the very same people that was enslaving their ass. Make this shit make sense to me, bro.
You talking about the Moors, the light-skinned Berbers. You talking about the lighter-skinned, whiter-skinned Berbers, which I work with one. I work with a lighter-skinned, white-looking from Algeria. She's from Africa, but she's from North Africa. And she says, I'm North African. And she white as hell. She look like she Eastern European.
North Africa is Europe, right? That's all the same shit.
No, that's not. And that doesn't say that. And you don't have
all right, so that lets me know you haven't studied shit then.
You haven't. You just made that shit up.
All right, bro. I'm done. I'm brand new to this information. I know more than your slow ass that claiming you've been studying this shit since we was little. I'm brand new to this
shit. From Detroit. We had all the bookstores. He know all the bookstores that on fucking Livernois and motherfucking. You had Truth Bookstore. You had Black Star Bookstore. You had Shrine of the Black Madonna Bookstore. I was studying this shit already in the motherfucking early 2000s, man. Now,
so how your common sense
where the Pan-Africanism and shit was basically to attack the urban areas or whatever, because they consider that's what most of the educated niggas is gonna come from. That's why they put the Pan-African studies into hold on, bro. That's why they put the Pan-Africanism into the school curriculum, into the educational system. But I want you to walk with me real quick, bro. You got to make this make sense for me, bro. The very same people that's supposed to be in the interior Africa, which would be West, well, basically, the interior of the coastal line, West Africa, snatching up slaves, and the same fucking Africans is actually snatching them up and turning them into slaves. And you got well more documentation of the exact number of people and the exact location of where these slaves is at that totals in the millions. So at the
That was
same time,
Berbers,
that
man.
millions of
That
them,
was Berbers.
hold on, wait, but listen to what I'm saying though, my brother. Hold on, just walk with me. In the same time period, from 1500s to the 1800s, that they supposed to been snatching you up and bringing you in slaves, they was actually being snatched up and put into slavery in North Africa at the exact goddamn same time. So how the hell is millions of them, boats upon boats, being attacked from 1500s to the 1800s by Africans amongst the Europeans, and in the same time period, the Europeans is going down deeper into Africa to snatch up slaves and bring them to America?
Yeah, because they weren't catching everybody. You got to remember. You got to remember too. They had
Not to mention they was in the East Indies as well. So these people,
but they
had
got
that
around
many
that
people.
Too, though. They got around
So
that too. They had to remember.
So they had that much population.
No, look, you got Cape Verde. You got what's the other ones that's going closer to Spain? That's off of the coast of Africa. What the fuck is that other island? But you have those coastal islands that you can island hop going down into Africa. You can bypass fucking going by Morocco and shit, just hitting Cape Verde and the mother island.
Bro, Truth literally just gave you the answer key, and you still trying to cheat on somebody else's paper. Like, bro,
But I'm not denying what he's saying though. Like they were enslaving motherfucking white people. I ain't gonna say about a million.
Let me ask you this. All right, let me ask you this then. Because if these people is being snatched up and put into slaves, they're not just going to wander nearly into motherfucking West Africa looking for slaves. They will have to have some type of port or something established, right? So why didn't the first European port get established in Africa until the 1780s by the British?
No, that's not true. The Portuguese was already established. They was already in there locked in. Remember, the Portuguese had those little islands off of the coast of Africa to bypass the Moorish motherfuckers, them lighter skinned Berbers. They was motherfucking because they say it was a lighter skinned Berber that pointed them to the Africans enslaving Africa. That's why you got the hotter team people there today that are still enslaved under the really fucking lighter skinned Africans and fucking them whiter Tuareg looking motherfuckers and shit. They still slaves. Still slaves over there, whole population enslaving the darker skinned Africans from Mali and all that shit. But the Portuguese, they bypassed Cape Verde, that other island. I'm trying to think of the name that's above Cape Verde, and then you had Sao Tome and all that. That was the breaking point for the slaves, which that was the first place they tried to make the sugar plantations was in Sao Tome. And then when shit was fucking up over there, that's when they start bringing niggas over to America. That's why y'all gotta watch Slave Voyages, man. Y'all have to watch that four-part.
I mean, but first off, the sugar cane wasn't even established until they came to the Americas. So what
they were doing, about? They were planting the sugar cane over in Sao Tome too, though. That's one of the first.
But how can they? How can they be planting something that wasn't even there until they came into the Americas?
Because they were enslaving people. They were taking people over to the islands, but this was in smaller numbers at the beginning. They were taking a lot of the African slaves to Sao Tome first. Well, you got that slave triangle right there. They were trying to break them there, but it was so many niggas on Sao Tome, they start fucking motherfuckers up. And it was taking the Sao Tomeans that were starting to get mixed with the Portuguese and all that, sending them back to the mainland in the Congo and Angola and stuff like that, causing wars and chaos because they done already bred them in the Macombos and locked them up over there where they was raping motherfuckers, all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And they start taking them back to the mainland, raiding the Congo and Angola, and taking slaves.
So
they were like, fuck,
hold on. All right, I'm glad you said that Congo and Angola, right? So that is definitely northern and central interior Africa, right? That's a yes or no question, right?
Well, it's off of the coast.
Hold on, no, bro. All we're talking about is geographic location. We're not talking about the times or none of that. Geographically located, Angola and Congo will be considered northern and central interior Africa, right? Yes or no?
Well, central Africa.
Up a map and I will show you. So basically, you're telling me that they're fucking scared to the point where you had coastal European towns abandoned because these barbarers was coming in and snatching them enslaved, but these niggas nuts dropped. And all of a sudden, one fucking company went into the fucking interior of the very same place where they run risks of being snatched up and put in slaves. Make that shit make sense to me, bro.
Bro, they had the outside islands, like I was saying, Sao Tome and Principe were one of them.
Bro, you just said Angola and Congo, bro.
Them niggas,
ain't no island hopping, but ain't no
Troop gonna have a headache by the end of this day.
island hopping through Angola and Congo. That's the interior, and that's actually you will have to go past a few Sultan regions in order to get there. And these very same Sultans had motherfucking boats on the fucking Mediterranean and the Atlantic.
Yeah, but if you're not, if the Sultan's not going to Cape Verde,
and you risk, hold on, my brother. With that being said, you know that these people is ramshacking the boats off the Mediterranean and Atlantic and your coastal town, putting y'all in slavery, and you gonna run the risk of going into the interior of that motherfucker to go get slaves and risk running into being a slave yourself. Come on, bro.
You know how big Africa is? That's a different region than the Berber. No, Africa big as fuck. You know how big that coastal region is? Them people in motherfucking Morocco,
bro. But you name some specific locations, right? And these very specific locations is land masses where these pirateers was disembarking from, going into the Mediterranean through the Iberian Peninsula into the Atlantic, looking for European ships and coastal towns to put them in slavery. So you're going to go into the heart of the very same people that's putting you in slavery. Hold on. But you're going to take your ship.
Going to these islands, bro.
Go into the heart. All right, bro. You just said that they was going into Angola and Congo,
they're circumventing. Remember, they're circumventing that part. They're like, look, we don't want to fucking deal with these motherfuckers over here keep raiding our ships. You got to remember, 1492 and all that. They fucking was kicking the Moors out of Europe and everything like that. They were already beefing. So they circumvented this shit and they were hitting them islands outside of that part where you got Cape Verde and Principe and that other island I keep trying to think of, man, that's up there.
But you said Angola and Congo, though, brother.
Yeah, it's island hopping, bro. Once you get past
how you
Morocco
and hop into the Congo, though,
bro? Because they got
but how you gonna island hop into the Congo when that's in the central interior of Africa? It ain't number.
Bro, you got 3 or 4 different islands. You got Saint Helena. You got all these islands that's on the. That's like saying how they not island hopping when they were going over into the east.
But bro, you said Congo though, my brother. All right. I wish I was at my laptop so I could pull up a map and show you where the.
I got you, bro. I'll pull one up right now.
I want you to show me what islands they was hopping into the Congo, because that's
telling you, Cape Verde, Principe.
Cape Verde. So you can go in through Angola and go to Cape Verde and then into Congo.
Sao Tome and Principe, you can. Sao Tome and Principe off of West Africa. You can hit them West African countries. That's why they were taking a lot of slaves there. Because it wasn't nobody.
Well, my brother, if you said that if you said
or Cape Verde.
If you say that they was going into Angola, they wouldn't have had the island hop. It's literally Angola is northeast, is northwestern Africa. So all they gotta do is just go straight down into it. They didn't have
Angola, not northwestern Africa, it's Central Africa. It's Central Africa.
So North Central Africa. Thank you.
No,
I tried to give you the benefit of the doubt. It's
the Bantu people are southern. The Bantu people are not northern.
All right, bro. This is what I'm saying, right?
Go ahead.
This is what I'm saying. All right. In order to get into Angola, right, you got to go through the northern interior and down. The same way with the Congo. That's the same way the Belgium and Leopold got into Congo and all that. They went through the northern interior and then down. All right, too. When you start talking about West Africa through these times and shit, when you look at the Sango Empire and them other empires, those empires was Islamist empires that was anonymous regions that paid tribute and tied back to motherfucking the Ottoman Empire via through the Maghreb into the northern Sultan regions of North Africa, and then into the stronghold of the Ottoman Empire. If any one of them West African nations got caught doing business with them Christian European nations, they risk having their motherfucking empire ramshacked and destroyed. Nigga, they was on cold with the rest of the Islamic nations throughout northern Africa and eastern Africa. So they wouldn't have been doing
down in
no
the Congo,
business with the
they weren't
European.
down in the Congo.
So where was the Songo? What was the Songo? So where was the Songo Empire at?
The Songhai Empire, we're talking about Mali and all those regions up that way. You know what I'm saying? Angola.
Is that not by Angola?
No, Angola's further south, man. We're talking about thousands of miles further south. Different language and everything. You know what I'm saying? You talking about them Western Sudanic people. That's another people. And plus, they had beef with the Moors a lot of times because those lighter.
So basically you saying they went into, not only did they island hop through West Africa, but then they traveled into Eastern Sudan, nigga?
No, I'm saying that's Western Sudan, where Sudan is like a stretch from Eastern Sudan to Western Sudan, West Africa. Like
but what I'm asking you is, to get into Western Sudan, you got to go into the interior of Africa, right?
No, you can hit it. You can hit part of it from the coast. Mali is right there, close to the coast. It's not far off of the coast or whatever.
Let me explain this even better.
And remember, it's divided between the Sahara.
Let's explain it even better, my brother. Let's walk with it. Let's say we sailed the ship from Europe and went in through Africa off the west coast. Don't we have to go into the interior through the land, or at least through the riverways, in order to get into Western Sudan from there?
I mean, you can hit the riverways, but
Sudan is not on no coastal waters. Sudan, eastern or western, is not on no coastal waters. It is a landmass that is blocked, that is in between. If you go into Eastern Sudan, right? You got a whole nother landmass of Africa that you got to go through before you get to the Indian Ocean. If you come into Western Sudan, you got a whole stretch of another landmass before you get to the Atlantic. So either way, in order to get to those regions, you would have had to go into the interior of Africa, bro. And that was, nigga, that's like motherfucking a goddamn United States Army veteran going into the heart of the fucking Taliban with a U.S. fucking army suit on with American flag on his head by his goddamn self, bro. It's basically fucking suicide.
But you can bypass that. That's what I'm saying. If you stand on the outside of those islands and stuff like that, you ain't got to go nowhere near the Moroccan territory. The Portuguese got some hip on that. They're like, why the fuck we gonna keep going selling close over here to Morocco and we got to pay tribute and all this shit? We can just go further out and then hit fucking the southern part of Africa. You know what I'm saying? From this point, I'm not gonna fucking go if I know it's a fucking hostile hood over here. I'm gonna go fucking bypass that and find another motherfucking route. You know what I'm saying?
Disrespect the truth, but what the fuck do any of that shit got to do with us over here right now?
Because nigga, you from over there, nigga. That's what we getting to. Nigga,
no, nigga, you from over there, nigga. I'm from here.
Nah, nigga, your people were slaves over there. But let's get straight to it, though. First off, bro,
Christianity 2.0.
When the Moors went to war with the European nations, and they eventually got pushed up out of Europe, what they did was they went down into North Africa, into the interior, and motherfucking teamed up with these very barbarian pirates that you talking about. So these motherfuckers didn't get put into slavery or no shit. No, they went into Africa and reinforced. That's why the North African region and shit was banging on European as hard as they was, because nigga was like basically like payback, nigga. They
lost because who came out on top at the end?
And they didn't. Because when you start looking. When you start looking into the treaties and shit and everything, and how many ships was snatched up and how many people was put into slavery up out of Europe due to after this motherfucking war that they had, nigga, when you start looking into that, you see from 1500s to the 1800s, nigga, motherfucking Africa was banging on Europe, nigga.
Okay.
Their ass was scared.
Okay, look at this.
You had whole coastal towns deserted because you had incidents like in Baltimore, nigga, where in the heat of night, these Berbers went into Baltimore And at the stroke of a signal, they
What,
had
Baltimore
motherfucking
here in
men
the
in front of
United States?
every. No, nigga, in Europe, nigga, right off
Oh.
motherfucking all the way up in what Ireland, Scotland, nigga. That's how far reach
Look,
nigga they reach was.
look at that
nigga.
map.
And hold
Look,
on, bro. Let me
they got
finish.
the map.
Hold
I
on,
want you
bro.
to look.
Let me
Oh,
finish.
I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish. I want you to look at them islands though. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm okay. And I'm looking at nigga the Congo. That's in the
Way
interior.
down there.
Okay, we looking at Sudan too, my brother. That's in the interior.
Yeah, but Sudan, no, that whole region. That's what I'm saying.
But you
Sudan, the
got me on.
country is
But
one
I ain't gonna
thing,
lie.
but that whole region was considered
Angola,
Sudan by the area.
Angola, I give you that. I thought that was in northern Africa, bro. I give you that one. But the Congo and East Sudan, bro, that's all in motherfucking in the interior.
It was in Northern Africa. This is a modern map. This map is made after the 1970s.
No, the Congo wasn't in Northern Africa.
It was a
Because when you
town
go,
called Angola with a sultan.
when you go to a 1600s map, right? When you go into a 1600s map, you will see Angola north of
Brother, that's in the same area.
This is by Cameroon. This is Bali, and this where you see Angola is right there. It's not spelled the way you see it. It's an Ngolo. This is 1600 map. Congo down here. Angola sits up here as a little.
It's still in the same area, same region. It's still the
north.
Bantu region. It's
Well,
still
you
the
said
Bantu
the
region.
map is- so I'll go get that right quick.
It's really spelled Angola. It's really spelled in Angola or Ngolo because it's the kingdom where you know you had.
Listen, this is where you get confused though,
Queen
bro.
Zinga from.
This is Belgium Congo. This is the region of the Congo Empire. Outside of it, they had provinces by Gabon. So when you zoom into particular areas that you mentioned the other day, the only place you're gonna see on this map where Angola lie is over here is Northwest Africa, bro. Chill.
That's not Northwest. That's Central Africa. It's the same. You literally looking at the same area.
But that's
That was
besides
just
the point. What islands did they hop to get to the Congo, though? That's what I want to know.
Look at. That's what I'm trying to show you. I took the map off. We were looking at the islands. We're trying to point off the islands that was on the map. It was the Canary Islands, which is the northernmost point, and then you had that's one. I think Canary Islands is one of the places where they found a pyramid on that island. And you go further down, you got the Cape Verde Islands, which was uninhabited, and you had Saint Helena, and you had Sao Tome and Principe, and a few other islands that was off the Bizongo Islands and everything. When you can island hop, when you can go around and circumvent, if I had the choice, I'm like, okay, I'm about to go down and do trade with these Africans instead of doing it with the Moors and stuff like that. I can circumvent them and I can go further down the island hop and get around these motherfuckers.
So the islands are in the middle of Africa too, like the Congo? That's what you're saying?
No, they're off of the coast. They're off of the coast.
So they had the island hop and didn't go into the middle of Africa.
That shit look pretty. That shit look pretty inland to me, my brother. And then
Yeah,
all
so
the stories that they give us about the slave trade, they talk about them docking on the coast and then going deep into the interior. And what I'm saying is this right here. If that's the case, because I mean, God
because you got to
bro.
think.
All I was just trying to say.
Go ahead.
All I'm trying to say is this right here, bro. All I'm trying to say is this, bro. At the same time period that they give you a slave trade story out of West Africa, that same time period, they give you well more documented information about these Africans banging on Europe and got their ass scared to set sail at all. So that's why they had these big ass. That's why they. I mean, my brother. First, my brother. You can't get into Central West Africa without going past the north. And nigga, the north was a no grante, my nigga.
Yeah, but if you bypass
once again, my brother.
island hopping,
But this the thing. This the thing, my brother. It's one thing that if the motherfucking North Africans was stationary and only snatching up here and there, but these people was actually going, setting sail, looking for these Europeans, nigga, with a vengeance. It's actual documented history with not only the ships, but the ship logs, how many people were snatched up, what sultan they was taken to, and this was all going on during the same time period from the 1500s to the 1800s. But then you got another, you got hold on. I mean, first off, Morocco was just one area. It wasn't even a country. It was a sultan. You had multiple sultans. All right, but then at the same time, from the 1500s to the 1800s, you got them the Europeans heavily active in the East Indies. So from the 1500s to the 1800s, you got a more documented Pacific trade going on from the East Indies to the Americas. But from the 1500s to the 1800s, you got a more documented active North Africans banging on the Europeans, making them scared to fucking come out on their ships, scared to live on the coastal line. So with both of these going on at the same time, then you got this third one that leads all this argument, because it's a lot of hearsay more than fucking documentation of them being in West Africa. It's not saying that. All right, bro. It's not saying.
No, I'm saying like look up the history. Look up the history of the Portuguese in Cape Verde and Canary Islands. Like you can look that history up.
Right.
Like look that, because they like I say, if I know it's a hostile neighborhood over here, I'm gonna bypass that neighborhood and I'm gonna go around it. Like the Moroccans wasn't selling that far out of here. I don't know why they weren't selling.
But you know that niggas gonna be on the outskirts too.
Exactly.
Niggas not just sitting in that neighborhood. Niggas is on the outskirts, on islands and all.
That's why I'm about to ask him. So the people in West Africa that we so-called came from, so they were just weak ass people. We didn't come from royalty. They couldn't stop.
No, they didn't. No, they got sold. They got sold by their own fucking people.
Who sold them? If they was the royals, then who sold them?
They own goddamn people. No, they were selling their own goddamn people.
So peasants sold them. Peasants sold the royals.
No.
Who sold the royals?
Wars. People fought wars against each other, a neighboring tribe. You know what I'm saying? Or in the royals, if you got to remember, in Africa, if you considered a witch, you considered a thief and all that, they be like, we just sell these niggas. You know what I'm saying? If you was or you were enemy combatant, they like, all right, it's easy to sell him. He ain't even a part of the village.
They got to the point where they sold them to all their people, to the point where they just weak as fuck now.
Yeah, because it was so bad. King Alfonso the First had to send.
This nigga ain't even listen to what I just said. So they basically sold all their people.
But that's why
they basically sold all their people.
But this is why I was telling you all about Sao Tome. Listen, let me get it out. Sao Tome, they were bringing slaves over there, but they were breeding people over there, first and second generation. And they're like, shit, they speak the Portuguese language and everything. If King Alfonso the First gonna stop us from enslaving people over there, we're gonna just send these niggas over there because they still speak a little bit of the Kikongo stuff, and they won't have them raid the villages.
So let me ask you this. If these people in Africa sold your people out and sold them, why the fuck would you claim that shit, even if it was true? Why would you?
I come from a particular people, not the whole of Africa. So
but you said the royals in West Africa got sold though. So what you saying? Why would you fuck with Africa, period?
That's like saying, okay, Crips and Bloods need to stay.
Okay, so why do you claim the whole Africa instead of your specific tribe that you claiming? What tribe are you from in Africa?
Fulani, the Fulani people.
So you're a Fulanian?
Yeah, they're for world.
So why do you say African then?
But they were enslaved, but they were doing a lot of enslaving too because they was enslaving in the name of Islam. You know what I'm saying? But with them,
so Africa was just fucking each other over and
yeah, it's tribalism. It's like gang shit, bro. Right. It's like gang shit. Why do the BDs and the GDs in Chicago beef and shoot at each other? You know what I'm saying? We know it look fucking crazy.
I mean, I can't say too much about y'all fucking each other over in Africa because that's what happened over here with us, American Aborigines. But your story, it's got 30 different stories to make it one story. This African slave theory is too much shit. Too many holes.
Man, listen. I'm gonna give it to y'all in a nutshell. Africa is a baby to us. We was colonized first. It took all of our inventions, our splendors, to go colonize other places of the world, and that's just what happened. We was colonized first. They seen how they could do the big dogs, and they went and did the little dogs afterwards. That's simple.
So when y'all gonna study the history in Haiti and voodoo in Haiti? When y'all gonna study the history of that? Because it's
Man, the whole
cultural.
world, the whole world been
Look
practicing
at the
these
cultural
systems.
stuff.
The whole world been practicing these systems. The colonizers gave
No,
it
look,
credit
but we
to
talking in
some
particular,
Negroes
bro.
in the continent of Africa, when really we already know that they gave it credit to the Americas. Everybody know them same systems. No, get rid of the name. We can get rid of the name that you call it. Them
But we're
systems
not
that
just talking
already
about
been
names.
here.
I'm saying this for a particular point. Look at the language. You got to go into the language they speaking. You got to go into the tribal thing. Like, all right, where did this come from? And you got to ask them, hey, is this an Aboriginal practice? They're like, nah, this piece of practice that we doing right here, this particular thing that we doing right here, come out of the homie from the fine people.
Hey,
They would
AP,
give you a
AP.
particular name and the language.
Okay,
It's more than just,
AP,
okay,
read Junior Niji comment right quick. Read Junior Niji comment. Because he just said some shit.
hold on, let's see. What's the comment? I'm trying to go to the chat.
It's on the
Share my
screen.
screen now. Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out who was selling who to the so-called white man. Because you just said everybody was enslaving everybody. So now I'm confused as fuck.
Man, listen, it's all good. King Cash
Bro,
Flow.
tribes fight, bro. They was slaving one motherfucking for an umbrella. You get 4 slaves, or was it 4 to 10 slaves for a fucking umbrella over there? Look at that shit. Oh, look at that. How many slaves you can get for like
Man, you smoking West Coast rocks, man. Stop playing,
Bap,
bro.
dog. Don't disrespect me no more when you talk about me.
You smoking
King
you
Cash,
smoking them
dog.
Gold Coast rocks talking like that,
y'all don't study, bro. And
Hey,
plus,
man, come
Don't
on, man. That
disrespect me
nigga
no
smoking
more,
them
Bap, when
Gold
you
Coast
talk about
rocks,
King
man. That
Cash.
nigga got some of that big meat left over pack or some shit, bro. Talking like that, nigga.
so you telling me? So you think it was an even trade? Like niggas are like, oh, I'm gonna just give slaves up for
Nigga
free?
said he got
No, it
Michi
doesn't
pack
work
left
like that.
over.
Hey, King Cash, we about to
Y'all
end
niggas
it,
don't
bro.
understand commodities. Y'all don't understand commodities, bro.
I'm about to wrap this show up, G. You just need to do some more studying, G.
No, Bap, I don't want to hear it, nigga. I told you earlier.
Nah, that's your cousin, G.
No,
That's your cousin, right, G. Y'all niggas up there, y'all both from
Brightmo
right
Jeezy
bullshit,
knows to say
man.
little
Y'all
Oscar,
niggas
dog.
y'all from the dirty D. Y'all need to get that shit together. I don't know what y'all got going on, but listen, I'm about to end this. Have a nice day,
bro.
my indoctrinated cotton picking mind brother.
You know it's
No, I tried to tell y'all. No, ain't nobody want to listen to me.
Hey man, you know it. You know, man. Hey, in Chicago, we call y'all the Dirty D, man. This nigga show living up to that shit, bro.
Yeah, y'all sure
y'all cousin cousins.
Sure no, y'all living up to that shit, boy. Y'all is some dirty D.
Y'all ain't about to be disrespecting Detroit. That's that east side shit. That ain't the west nigga. It's the east side, ain't it?
That nigga that ate too much of that conies out there, nigga. What the fuck you talking about,
He must have slid up the Flint or something for a minute.
Shout out to one of my boys in Chicago that just passed, man. Mikey, he was one of the footworkers right there.
Damn Arab store. That nigga had pork juice on that motherfucker.
You talking about footwork? You talking about footwork? Yeah. You talking about footwork and Mikey?
I had the jit versus. You know, I'm a dancer. I had the jit versus footwork thing here.
I know footwork. I know footwork and Mikey, bro.
Hold on, True. This nigga King Cash done it all.
King Cash, you want to have a jit versus juke battle?
You a dancer, bro. Now you tap dancing.
We're gonna have a jit versus juke battle.
Man, turn your camera on right now and show me 3 movies, nigga.
Hey, look, Chicago know what it is.
Nah, hell nah. You cap, bro. You cap, bro. Turn your camera on like it was on earlier.
Hey, bro. Hey, if you come out footworking, bro, you better not do that weak ass Minnesota footwork, my nigga.
Yeah, don't do that weak ass Minnesota footwork. Don't do that, G. Come on.
Minnesota, them ain't nothing but Minnesota.
Hey, come on, King Cash, you got your camera on, set it up, bro. We just want to see you get it, man. Everybody
King Cash, if you do King Cash, if you do your footwork, King Cash, I'm gonna do the Detroit footwork.
We'll give you a credit.
I'm a Detroit footworker.
Well, go ahead, let me see. Let me see some foot.
I'm a Detroit. No. Y'all gotta come. I'm gonna send y'all the video.
I can't. Oh God, King Cash, I'm gonna go right after you.
No freaky, nigga. Let's see you
no
dance.
Freaky, I'm going right after you.
Y'all look up
no
footwork.
freaky.
Y'all look up footwork till you fall out. So matter of fact, I got a video on my Instagram page. Y'all look up footwork till you fall
Nah,
off
G,
2016
listen, G,
on
G,
YouTube.
Don't be trying to let us see Jit and Jesus, nigga. We trying to see
you can
King
give us
Cass, nigga.
King Cash. You can give us 2 moves, bro. Like real quick, like, look, I told y'all. Then look, if it's it, listen, you ain't gotta be that crispy. Nigga, I know you about to go to work and stuff. Then give us 2 moves, G. Damn, you
Look,
live.
bro.
You got 150
Look,
people in
bro.
here watching you. Show us that you still got some of that African dance move
Look,
that came over here. Show us that shit,
look.
G. Shut us the fuck
Chicago
up.
know what it is. Chicago know we won that battle. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be back in Chicago because they setting everything up. Yeah, we won that
Chicago know what's
battle.
up.
They know what's
Chicago do
up.
know
We
what's up
gotta
when it
say
comes to
that.
footwork.
I
Yeah,
love
nigga,
my
because we
Chicago people,
invented
but we
that
know what
shit,
it is.
nigga.
Nah,
We
y'all
invented
niggas ain't
footwork.
that juking shit ain't got shit on Jit.
Nah, nigga, we invented footwork, nigga. That's our
No, that
shit, nigga.
footwork is Detroit all day, nigga.
That's that Mississippi stomp shit, nigga.
Nah, them niggas in Chicago. Them niggas in Chicago be going super fast and shit. Them niggas be
Hey,
looking like
listen,
Sonic the
bro.
Hedgehog.
Listen, you can't dance. You know you can't dance, bro. You probably got a peg leg over there. Your new name Kunta King
Look,
Cash,
bro.
nigga. Your name Kunta King
We
Cash.
been jitting since the 70s, and we know jitting come from Africa, right?
No, it don't, nigga.
Nigga, that
No,
shit
it
come from
don't.
down south, bro.
That do not come from Africa,
Listen,
nigga.
hold on. I'm from Tennessee, G. I don't know nothing about that. Show me what that move look like, bro.
Oh no, y'all do that
look.
in Tennessee. Y'all be doing that bucking and juking and shit. They got juking and
Juking
shit
in Chicago.
Nah, it's another type of dance they got in. You know, you ever seen Crunchy Black do it? Like when he be doing them dances
Yeah,
on
nigga, I know what you're talking about.
That's
Yeah,
they
yeah.
shit, yeah.
It's called bucking, nigga. It's called bucking. Get it right. It's called
They be
bucking.
calling it juking too. I them on the little Memphis
Nah,
page.
they call it bucking, my G.
You know, but Detroit's
Hey,
still on top of that shit.
Show us that
King
footwork.
Cash,
You
King
got
Cash,
G.
listen.
King
If
Cash ain't got no
you start
footwork.
jitting, my
That
nigga, I promise
nigga
you, I'm
got
gonna
2 left
turn my
feet.
camera
That
on
nigga
and I'm gonna
dance
do
like
it too.
Australian.
I just did a footwork move.
No, you
Man, you
didn't,
ain't
bro.
do shit,
All
man.
you did was lift your arm up, bro. You didn't do a motherfucking thing.
Bro, almost 2 up just now.
I
We
just
trying to
did
get bro
one.
to jit on this bitch.
Man, you didn't do. We couldn't see
What up,
your
though?
feet, bro. We couldn't even see your feet.
I told him if he busts out a move, I'm gonna bust out a move too.
Hey, that nigga
Oh,
look like
listen. Dion said he gonna challenge you. Dion said he gonna challenge you, G.
Hey, that nigga
It's
look like
challenging, G.
that nigga look like Sarah Sudenseti the third.
I get that.
Hey, that's my dog. Shout out my dog, man.
That nigga look
He
like
was up in
Sarah
Tariq Nasheed
Sudenseti.
Look,
when
that
we was up
nigga,
here.
that nigga started
When
cheering.
they
He
had the
got
Tariq
proud when
Nasheed
you
movie
said
up
that.
here,
That
we
nigga
saw
said,
that.
"Yeah, I do look like Seti a little bit." That nigga got happy as hell.
We
Boy,
on
shit.
AP channel. He might end it if we don't get King Cash and Jit, but we on this channel if you want to tap in.
Hey, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, Jit, man, because my man Dion said he's gonna challenge you with a move. So you do 3
Oh
moves.
no, man.
Dion
Hey,
got
look,
3
anybody
moves.
from Chicago on here, any footworker in there and shit like that, y'all know that I
Nah,
bust y'all.
King Cash, I ain't even about to let you do
Nah,
You ain't
he
about to
talking
know
about
because if you go in there and you
another
disrespect
Detroiter
Detroit, we ain't
with
gonna let it
another
down.
Detroiter. Y'all got to get it in. You know that's rules. If another Detroiter challenge you to a Jit contest, you got to get it right then and there, or you a buster.
Is this a scared African on the screen?
So Brightmo Deezy, so he coming in.
Yeah,
I'm gonna bust a move
if
too.
you
I'm gonna let
dodge
out the
this
footwork
fade,
too.
if you dodge another Detroitian, you feel me, with this fade with Jit, nigga, you ain't a real jitter, nigga. Go ahead, nigga, you a buster.
No, I'm
You
gonna
can
tag you.
kick
I'm gonna
off
tag
your
you
set.
in the video. Let me get in here.
This nigga buster, call his big homie, whoever put this nigga down on Jit. Cause he
Look, I
out
gotta
of
go
here.
get in the office max, man. Let me get in the office max. I'm
You
hit
about
y'all
to get
motherfuckers.
violated.
Y'all hit Detroit. Y'all see Detroit. Y'all see it. He backing down.
Dion, go on, show him how to do it, bro. Turn your camera on and show him, Dion.
Man, I thought that nigga was from 6 Mile, bro. That nigga from 7 Mile, man.
Dion, go ahead. Hold on.
Which I got another
Hold on.
Detroiter.
Let me get him on here. Hold on, here you go.
Oh shit!
Oh, that nigga look like
That's a little something.
Hey, y'all ever see that video?
Be catching nigga at the corner store busting him out.
Hey, y'all ever see that video on Facebook with that crackhead dancing at the school and shit?
Hey, y'all drop some fire emojis in the chat for Dion.
I'm on your ass.
Hey, y'all draw some fire emojis in the chat for Dion, man. He went out, man.
I'm on your ass.
That shit was fire, y'all.
Oh, yo,
Hey, I'm gonna go find that video. I'm gonna go find that video and post it.
Dion,
what
I
up,
might
though?
got a song for you to get on. Hold on. You gotta bust that shit out. Hold on. I got a song for you, G. You gotta get it to this. If you don't get it to this, here we go.
Come on, King Cass. Let me see the foot.
Hold on, here we
Let
go.
me see the foot.
Okay.
Let me see the footwork, King Cass.
Boy, your ass look like a skinny beast mode.
You didn't get it crunk like me.
Yeah, you supposed to be killing it right now, G.
Oh my fucking god. Hey, look, King Cass, I'm just gonna let you know, nigga, it's 100 degrees, dog. I just bust a little footwork for you, dog. You ain't even do shit, dog.
Yo, I got a song for y'all to get it in on, G. I'm telling y'all, breathe in.
That nigga play Missy Elliott. That nigga play Missy Elliott. I hate this nigga. I hope my phone down with his ass. Nigga could have played, son. All the house music niggas got this nigga went straight to Missy Elliott. Disrespectful, cuz.
Man, hey.
No. Come on, we gotta turn up one time for this song. Listen.
Scoop, aka Fab. Galaxy them. Girl say, looking at the cornrows up in the club. Girl,
everybody get up and do the Dion dance, y'all. Everybody get up off y'all feet.
Listen to the
Get on your
music this
feet
nigga
and do
play.
the Dion dance.
Shake it like he's running from a suntan. My dog, you can grab it like it was.
What that shit on you got served?
Yeah, they definitely had this shit on You Got Served, G. They definitely had this on You Got Served.
That was the intro song.
Hey, little beast mode. I mean, bright mode. Hey, that shit went.
Hey, Troop, I'm on your ass. No freaky for that one. That nigga said you ever see the crackhead dog at the corner store.
Yeah, you like, hey, nephew, give me $1. Watch this move I used to do for these hoes.
Man, I'm about to get off this bitch. My phone about to die. Fuck you.
Hey, you know that breathe in. Hey, tell the truth, that breathe in
about to die on y'all niggas.
Hey, I'm coming out
These
with a
niggas
You Got
petty as
Served movie. The new one, Hood Niggas version. You Got Served. That nigga said, breathe in. He said, I got some King Cass. That nigga got this motherfucking camera.
You got served.
This nigga touched his camera on. It was over with. He ran, bro. You really served him, bro. You got out of here. You really served him.
That nigga gonna bust 3 moves and fucking this dude rag gonna magically spin off his head and shit and wrap around his arm and shit, bro. That shit gonna be raw.
I'm trying to tell you, he the GOAT, bro.
I can't wait to see that shit.
He the GOAT. Then they gonna do a Chris Brown head slide like off a Stomp the Yard and shit, like the opening scene. Nigga gonna come down. That nigga gonna slide in on his elbow and his neck. Nigga, I'm talking about some shit. And he gonna jump back up and be like, breathe in, breathe out. They gonna be jitting all around that motherfucker. I swear, that nigga got it. Nigga. Like,
hey, y'all capping today, bro. On some G shit. Hey, y'all be on the lookout though, bro. I'm finna do I'm finna get down on their favorite Pan-African shit, bro. I'm finna dig deep into Marcus Garvey and his attentions and how his connection back with these motherfucking white ACS and eugenics motherfuckers is secretly tied in with the narrative that he was pushing and shit. I just ain't had time to go live yet. But that shit finna be epic.
Just go Google where the fuck he buried at. That's gonna give you all the insight.
I'm finna show y'all how all the whole Pan-Africanism, the whole back to African shit outside of white people, that every nigga that bought that shit to us except for W.E.B. Du Bois, and I'm kind of skeptical of him too, because this nigga was a half-breed, but all of these niggas is non-mainland niggas. It ain't no disrespect from anybody from anywhere else, but the fact of the matter is that every last one of these Pan-Africans that been pushing this shit from the foundation of this shit, the so-called black ones, happen to be non-mainland niggas. And the problem is with us is that we've been following the teachings of niggas that's not from the mainland. It ain't no disrespect to nobody else, but can't no motherfucking body come over here and tell us which direction we should go. That's always been the disconnect amongst our people, why a lot of our people ain't follow that shit and why some of us did. And we got to stop being followers and we got to start determining our own destiny. And these niggas need to go back to where the fuck they from and determine their own destiny, and then we'll come together as allies. But we got to stop letting these motherfucking outside niggas telling us what the fuck to do. And it's just crazy because it's like you don't want to be disrespectful, but the fact of the matter is when you start looking at Marcus Garvey, pretty much all these motherfuckers, William, what the fuck was his name and shit that was right along with him, all of these motherfuckers is Trinidadian, motherfucking Barbadian, and all other places that's not of the mainland. And, you know, like I say, it's not to be disrespectful, but they not finna let us come down there to where the fuck they at and tell them how the fuck they should live. But motherfuckers love coming up here to tell us what the fuck we should do. Like, no, nigga, this what the fuck we gonna do. You either in conjunction or shit, y'all got your own thing going. But I'm finna start destroying this narrative, and we gotta stop being followers and lead our own destiny and shit, man. And I'm gonna mute up.
Nah, that's a fact though, man. Real shit. So, hey, y'all heard it from the big bro, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe to the Brother Truth channel. The Brother Truth channel is 111 Truth. That's all one, and then you say searcher. 111 Truth Searcher. All right, that's on YouTube, y'all. Go subscribe to the channel. Definitely got some dope information over there, man. Shout out to the brother Tashawn. Shout out to everybody popped up on the panel, and most importantly, man, shout out to all my cousins, all of everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. I appreciate it on the way out, man. Y'all can support the channel by hitting the like button and sharing this on all your social media outlets. All right, that's as easy as you can do. Just hit the like button and hit the share button on your way out. I'm about to get ready to wrap this thing up.
Hey, Truth, Sean say go live.
Yeah, I'm heading back to the crib right now, man. When I get to the crib, man, I got some shit loaded up, man. I'm gonna go ahead and compile it together and shit so I can hit the key points I want to hit on, and then we gonna pop it up. We just gonna get a scratching surface on it, and I'm gonna drop the link, and everybody can come up. And, you know, we do what we do.
Yeah, sound like a winner to me.
Hey, and accept my request on IG, bro. No homo, I guess.
You send me you know what, bro? I gotta look at that because once I start receiving them death threats and shit, nigga, I stop accepting friend requests and shit. But I'm gonna go check you out. My bad, Brody.
Nah,
anybody that send me a friend request on IG, like I say, that's my personal page. It's not no informational page, but somehow the informational scene got that, and I started getting death threats. So that's why I haven't been responding to a lot of requests and shit like that. And then I barely be on IG like that anyway. But when I get on there, I'm gonna check into that shit. Sorry about that, Brody.
Right, man. So yeah, go follow the brother on well, I ain't gonna say it, but yeah, get with me. But yeah, definitely go follow me on Instagram at big_Aboriginal_power, man. Make sure y'all go follow me on Instagram. Make sure y'all hit the like button. I am gonna close this thing out with a nice little vibe song for y'all to get out of here with. This for all the brothers and sisters out here, all the real ones. You know, we gotta bring this unity together, this love, this energy, this high vibes, this blessings, and this is what we bringing to you guys. Let's get it.
Let me talk to you. I don't wanna fight, I don't wanna argue. If we acknowledge the problem, then maybe we can solve it, babe. You ain't gotta speak. Oh no, please don't bother. The pain too deep between you and me, don't let it go no further. I respect you like my mother, you love me like your father. We barely knew our parents, so that made our job much harder. By the blind, we both was brought up. No love is what they taught us. We reciprocate the hate we learned, and somehow they still fought us. All we needed was some tender love and care. A crowded room, don't be confused, ain't none there. Yeah. Say all we needed was some tender love and care.
They want you around, but you feel love when you not there. Oh, it ain't fair. You see, I promise I will never push you, never hit you. I will only love you. Yeah. Promise that I got the tat and prove that there can never be another. Yeah. Promise that I got your back and we will never let each other struggle. I honor that you got my back, cause you the brain and baby, I'm the muscle, so I trust you. That's why I love you. You keep the devil beneath your feet, but God above you. Babe, that's why I trust you. That's why I love you. You keep the devil beneath your feet, but God above you. They call us the power couple. Shout out to others who left some things along the way, but not each other. Hey, my power couple, straight from the struggle. They lost some things along the way, but not each other. They call them. You can put the house in your name. I can put the lights in my name. You can put the gas in your name. Put the layaway in my name. I can put the car in your name. Put the cable in my name. I pay it off with my change. Never want to hear you complain. Yeah, now I respect you like my sister. You trust me like your brother. Our friends have separated, but we still ain't left each other. They talk down because they jealous. Move on is what they tell us. When the love is strong, get in your bone. It's known to be rebellious. All we needed was some tender love and care. You call on family, for some ain't none there. Yeah. Say all we needed was some tender love and care. You got that love, it's best you keep it, cause it's real. It ain't fair, you see. I promise I would never push you, never hit you, never disrespect you. Promise that it's ever drama, I'm the one that's coming to protect you. Promise that I got your back, and if you ever feeling any pressure, I honor that you got my back, cause we unstoppable when we together, so I trust you. That's why I love you. Yeah. You keep the devil beneath your feet, but God above you. Babe, that's why I trust you. That's why I love you. You keep the devil beneath your feet, but God above you. They call us the power couple. Shout out to others who left some things along the way, but not each other. Hey, my power couple, straight from the struggle. They left some things along the way, but not each other. They call us the power. You can put the house in your name.
Man, peace, man. I just want to give y'all that, man. Give y'all some high vibes, man. That's to all the beautiful, beautiful brothers and sisters, man. The couples, soon to be, whatever the bees, everybody, man. Peace and love to everybody out there, man. Make sure y'all have a blissful, happy day. You understand me? Make sure y'all have high vibes on y'all day, and make sure y'all stay aware, stay vigilant, stay dangerous. You understand me? Big Aboriginal power.